Keith Glock, Tim Bartholomew. We are live from Franklin High School. Game number 2 of the 2022 season. Matt Pogue's down here doing the best he can, sweating it out, almost being a daddy this morning. We waited that one out. Everything was good. You gave her a little water. She's okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. As good as it can be.
That's fantastic. I love to hear that.
Sure.
Water's the solution.
We got a little echo going on in here? Is that? Am I hearing that?
Not really.
No? All right, that's good.
It's in your head. Maybe not.
It's
maybe
not. You heard what I was hearing.
Maybe not.
You heard what I was hearing. I think I just fixed it there for you. All right. Anyway, Montgomery looks to get to 2-0. Timmy, welcome back to the MIRE.
Oh, great to be back.
We missed you last week. I had to deal with a mute as a partner, though he did speak a little bit last week, which is a bonus for me.
Oh, man, that was fun.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. I see what you did there.
Yeah, you see what I did?
Baby steps. We're days away from Pogue being a daddy. We're hopefully minutes away from Montgomery improving to 2-0, looking for a win for a second straight year here at Franklin. This Franklin team, different than the Robbinsville team we saw last week. In the pregame last week, Timmy, we talked about the fact that Robbinsville was really kind of decimated by graduation, lost their top passer, top receiver, top rusher from the year prior. Not so for Franklin. Kasim Ashford's a guy I think that we're going to see a lot of tonight for Franklin. Led the team in rushing last year, over 7 yards a pop. Did not carry the ball all that much. It was not even 200 carries. But almost 1,200 yards on the season. He's a really explosive player. They like to run a lot of power. I expect, again, that it's different than what Robbinsville really wanted to do. Robbinsville was kind of in a bad spot last week. They wanted to try to run wide zone. They had a couple guys hurt. It wasn't really working out for them. It was a perfect storm of badness. Today, I think Montgomery's really going to be tested in a way they weren't last week or last year here.
Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a more challenging game and a better indication of where we stand in the season. Robbinsville, like you said, decimated by the seniors. Also, I believe it was their first year going up another group.
Yep.
So they're a smaller school. They're not used to the big school competition, whereas we have been. I was looking at reading the stats and watching some of the game and just noticed a lot. Like we really didn't do the things that Montgomery normally does. It was 200 yards rushing for Eubanks, which is not, we don't usually do that.
You're not counting on 200 yards.
We're not counting on 200 yards on the ground. And 11 passes from Schmelzer, I kind of expected that in the first quarter or first half, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So a different style of offense. I think this game will give us a better idea of our identity as a team, whereas like if it's going to be more of a balanced pass-run attack or if it's going to be more in the running game or passing game.
And I think the word of the season, probably not even the word of the day, is balance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I made an offhand comment about it last week about how Kyle Shanahan's offenses, which are kind of like, Shanahan-McVay systems in the NFL to belabor the what I guess now is a cliche, that they marry the run and the pass quite well. And the pass game works off of the run game insofar as everything looks the same for the first 2.5 seconds after the snap. So those second-level players, the linebackers, have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Are we is this run or is this? It's kind of like what RPOs are pretty much in a nutshell at high school and college, except in the pros, quarterback turns his back to the line of scrimmage quite a bit. You know what I mean? And that's something we've seen Schmelzer do. So, and we saw it here, baby. So, let's just, did you pull that, Mr. Producer?
I can, but it was going to be a surprise. Now it's not.
Oh.
That's a good way to say no, not at all.
Oh.
But I'm sure I can find it.
I was disappointed. And then I was thankful and appreciative. And
I
now
know.
I'm disappointed
I
again.
took you on a roller coaster. It was fun, right?
Oh,
Almost as good as seeing the clip.
So, Mike Schmelzer, like you said, didn't have to do a whole lot last week. And I said that to Zoran, too, as we were talking last Saturday morning. I said, you know what I thought? I thought you looked really good, and you didn't show a lot.
That's what you want in a win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to let your opponents know what you have, and 80 for 11 in a high school football game is impressive. That's no dropped balls. That's
well. And what you didn't see was, I assume you didn't watch the whole game.
Yeah, I didn't. But
could have been 9 for 11 with another 65 yards and a touchdown because they went up top on a play in the third quarter that. I mean, Davino was sprinting up the left side, and it was just off the fingertips type of a play. And I guess that's as good a segue as any to say that last week with all apologies to Chris Eubanks for and 200 yards rushing, that last week really was the hello to the big time for Matt Davino.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Some nice catches. So
had a punt return touchdown called back, almost scored on another one, returned it down inside the 10-yard line. So, I mean, he was everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he's really putting on a show now this come winter basketball and now into fall football. He's going to be a big-time player here at Montgomery, so someone to watch in every season.
Pogue, we talked a lot about last week Brady Post and kind of how he had done. And I thought that
nice little touchdown, right?
He had a touchdown run, fumbled the ball twice, and put that on the ground. But I thought on the other side of the ball, Pogue, was where he was really impactful defensively.
Yeah, I mean, he's flying around, he's making tackles. I mean, we focus on 2 fumbles because of where they were on the field, but we have to remember that we were near, red zone or goal line situations because of the way he was running the ball too. So I'm sure he thought about it, and I'm sure people reminded him about it, but that usually motivates somebody to not do it.
And remember, Benitez at the beginning of the season really struggled with fumbling the ball, getting the snap and things like that. But when he came on the field on defense, it made a huge impact. And so similar story.
And you know what? One of the things I think that makes his and Colin Diggin, quite honestly, his performances last week defensively at the linebacker position more impressive, and where I think it could really be exciting for Montgomery is, and we didn't even know this, Pogue. We played without Gavin Guidetti last week. Guidetti just recovering from illness. So we were sitting there going, it was apparent that he was not playing by, the early second quarter. And I actually misdiagnosed the play because I saw a single digit in a linebacker, and it was Will Dawson wearing number 6. And I had just taken for granted in, looking at it, passing, thinking it was not. I was thinking it was number 8. All right, I thought 6 was an 8.
Okay.
Which we know with my eyes is certainly a possibility that happens often. But other than that, you insert Guidetti into the lineup, and he's going to become, I think, what Brady Post was last week in terms of the take charge middle linebacker and the guy carrying the ball in the backfield. And then that allows Brady to slide, quote unquote, back, one slot. And when that's your second guy,
right? Grabbing some depth and more energy, so you're able to play a little bit better, a few more downs that are productive than when you're playing both sides of the field.
And think about that in high school anything.
Yeah.
High school football, but high school anything. What are good teams? Good teams have really good starters and a couple of great starters, okay? Really good teams have great starters and a bunch of really good other guys, too.
Yeah.
The depth across sports in high school athletics is the thing that is the difference between championship-winning teams and teams that you had a pretty good season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously always going to refer back to like track and cross country, but this year I have a really I don't have a number 1 on my team, like a guy who's going to place high in the meet of champions and things like that. But I have a bunch of guys that are really good and are going to do some damage. And so there's like 5 of them, and those teams are the ones that are hard to beat because you could have a number 1. And then your number 5 for me isn't as good, and then it makes it hard to get out of things because it's a team effort. So same thing in football. You could have the best quarterback, but if he doesn't have anyone to throw to, or his defense gives up 50 points a game, it's going to be hard to win.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I'll be interested to see just how this Montgomery offense gets humming when they let Schmelzer roll. And I don't think – did he throw 2 passes in a row last week, Pogue?
No, play action.
He might not.
Play action usually, or just back to the run with Eubanks.
Play action usually, eh? Is that
that's what we call
a good
segue.
That's a good segue. So listen, for that, let me set the table for everybody that doesn't remember. I'm about to dislocate my shoulder, patting myself on the back. Do you have the volume set to go in that thing? I hope, because that's the only thing that makes the clip good.
It has volume.
It has volume. All right, so
allegedly,
we're getting ready to put the game away. Well, hopefully put the game away last year here, and we're having a good time hanging out. And Schmelzer, obviously his first start ever as a Montgomery player, and I'll just let the clip do the rest. This is another one of those times, you want to keep the ball in the hands of your best player, right? Like, This is the time that I always feel like, especially with the type of offense Montgomery runs, like, you know what I want on this play? I want naked bootleg. I want just play action and just Schmelzer roll out to his left and it's either going to be a first down or a touchdown. And I would tell Schmelzer, I know you want to score a touchdown, but go over there and slide down inbounds, and then we'll take knees and we'll win the game. It's either going to be that or he's going to get sacked, and whatever. The clock still moves then.
I don't know that I want a naked bootleg.
I do, 100%. Let me have it, Cardi.
I don't want him taking a hit that might force a fumble.
Oh, naked boot to the left. I'm a genius. Schmelzer inside the 20 to the 10, and he's going to walk in for a touchdown. This is the greatest moment of my MIRE life. My finest moment, not even on the MIRE, possibly ever. Just saying.
It was so good, but
I just think it's really important for everyone to know that it wasn't called a naked boot. It was a broken play.
Yeah, we did talk to Schmelzer, and it was alleged that was not what he was supposed to do.
It wasn't what was supposed to happen,
Listen.
but it was an instinct, and he took advantage of.
No, I know the game that you're all playing.
Yeah.
You had a meeting with Schmelzer and be like, listen, you gotta say that this was broken.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Sure.
otherwise, we could be in for it.
It's on the record. I don't know. It's on the record. Broken play.
We're getting set for the coin toss here. So we will. We gonna step away? Nah, let's keep it here for the coin toss. Let's get off of us, our lovely camera person over there. Why don't you head over to the coin toss and see what we can get there, as we'll bring that to you, and then that should take us right into where we want to be anthem-wise. Timmy, I think Montgomery has a pretty good opportunity here to be 2-0 in this one if they rely on the veteran leadership. I think that, and I say that. There is veteran leadership, certainly on the at the running back position, the linebacker position. The other guys, I just feel like they're playing like veterans, but they're not. They're like 10 minutes into being upperclassmen. You know, like
sometimes when you don't know that the moment's big, you play better because you're just doing what you think you're supposed to do.
No, I think they have a really good group of boys that have a great work ethic. I mean, I've been seeing them all spring in the weight room and putting all the work in. So a lot of them are on the track team, getting faster, working with Cardi, and so some of the guys that we don't even mention too often during the game are big contributors, on and off the field.
Yeah. Well, Montgomery for the second straight week has won the toss and will take the football. Again, it tells you just how Zoran Milic feels about his team and his team's offense. We are going to take a break for the national anthem. Montgomery looks to get to 2-0 in the season opener for Franklin here in Somerset. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with high school football on the MIRE right after this. welcome back here to Somerset. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Nicole DeMace, live at Franklin High School. The Warriors getting set to kick things off here in game number 2 for the Cougs and the season opener for Franklin. Lawan Fair to kick it off for Franklin. Davino's back at his own 10. And we get the go-ahead from the officials. Here we go for high school football. A short kick out to the right. They watched some film, and this is going to be taken at about the 32-yard line, and a short return by Montgomery.
I always love those pooch kicks because a lot of times those guys in the front row don't remember that they can fair catch it, and you can get lit up if you have a good kickoff team.
Well, no reason for things to get too squirrely there because Keith Holloway had his hands on the ball. He got an interception last week, almost had a second, actually. I think he was actually a little surprised that the ball came to him the manner that it did, so that's why he didn't end up with 2 picks on the day.
Yeah. It's like, it's not supposed to be there.
So here comes Schmelzer. And you see something already that you hadn't seen all last week, and that's empty.
Might be a pass.
And Eubanks motioning out into the backfield. It will be a pass, and it's complete on first down, and nicely done by Matt Davino. Out past the midfield marker, a gain of 15 on first down on the first play. Tim, last week the first play was a 64-yard touchdown. Maybe not quite that this week, but still not too shabby.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it's how you want to start every game. You know, get some momentum, show that you know what you're doing, and you got a game plan. So,
and, you know, we saw jet sweep twice last week, which we talked about so often last year, and it didn't work last week very much for them. So it'll be Schmelzer. This is a designed run and a little bit of a jailbreak there. He's going to end up losing a yard. Good job by Franklin's defensive line. They're going to say that Franklin says the ball came out, and the officials are going to say no. They're going to say that he was down first. So it will be a loss of a yard. Deep breath there from Cougar fans on the second play.
It was interesting how fast they came out of the huddle.
Yes, and I think that was that's certainly obviously by design, but something if you look at Franklin's defensive line right now that they are absolutely ready for.
Yeah, they're already set.
Yeah, pretty much. Second down and 11 for the Cougs. Eubanks will go to the left of Schmelzer here in the shotgun. They go 3 wide. Eddie Kion's all the way to the right side, split out wide for Mike Schmelzer, and it'll be a pass. And he looks his way, and it's caught complete to Eddie, and he's down to the 40-yard line. So a nice gain of about 9 makes it 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Eddie's a big, strong kid, so when he gets that catch, it's going to be hard to tackle him.
You see that so often in the pros, you know, with a little bit of a modification here. In the pros, you see usually trips, you know, and then you put the tight end, flex him out to the opposite side of the field. Montgomery had 2 to the short side there, and then they flipped Eddie out to the other side.
I mean, he ran a nice pattern while it was wide open, so.
It's 2 backs with Schmelzer, and it's going to be Eubanks. And Chris is going to have a first down and a lot more as he's down near the 35. Needed 2, got about 5.5.
Yeah, I'm loving Eubanks this season, man.
Keeping the chains moving.
He's really just playing hard-nosed football, man, putting his head down, getting through the hole, and trusting his line.
Matt Pogue working on producer-type things. This is why I should have told him he wasn't allowed to have a baby. It's going to make my life a lot harder.
It's going to be terrible without him.
I really have no clue what we're going to do. First and 10 for the Cougs. As Schmelzer is again in the gun. He's going to look to throw. He's throwing to the right side. He's got a man, and it's caught inside the 10 and down toward the 5-yard line. A fantastic little skinny post pattern from Davino, and here we go in business for the Cougs.
Yeah, great athletic catch, too. It was a little on his back shoulder, was able to turn around, still make the catch, and get 4 or 5 yards after.
Big gainer for Davino, about 31 yards or so. And that'll be a goal-to-go situation now for the Cougs. They go to the heavy set as they do often inside the 10-yard line. You got a wing back in Eddie Kion, and Guidetti is the up back. It'll go to Eubanks. He bounces it off the left side, but a nice play by Franklin there to meet him at the line of scrimmage and drop him for no gain. No dice there, Pogue? How you making out?
No, we were fine.
Not making out anymore?
No.
Yeah. That's not good. number 10. I gotta say that the folks here at Franklin are more hospitable than any outside of North Hunterdon basketball. More hospitable than any other 5 schools combined.
Yeah, top notch, man.
Guidetti is in the ball game as he stands next to Schmelzer on his right. That's Eddie Kyan in motion. Out now to the right. 2nd and goal from the 5. Schmelzer fakes it, looking to throw over the middle. Now he's going to scramble and try to get away. Throws toward the end zone. Wide open for the touchdown. Guess who? Matt Davino.
And what a great play, man. He was able to read the defense coming in and just change his pattern as he's rolling to the right and get a nice, easy catch for a touchdown.
Nice and easy for Schmelzer. 6-0 Cougs. 3:50 into this one.
And that's what you're looking for.
I got you. Pogue figuring out what the problem was. Look at you, diagnosing issues.
Creating and diagnosing.
Oh, you did. You were the one that made that happen?
No, but it saves Wi-Fi, so whatever.
Extra point is on the way up, and it is good. 8:11 to go in the first quarter. Montgomery jumping right out to me to a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, that's outstanding. That's how you want to start every game, obviously. But just taking the momentum from last game and bringing it to this one. You know, now we get to see what the defense does. So I'm excited to see it.
No doubt about it. Poe, can we go to break? Are we okay with that?
Sure.
We'll take a quick break. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome here to Franklin.
Good save.
Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Nicole DeMace. Cougs lead at 7-0, and Franklin looks to take over for the first time. And a nice return of about 20 yards for the Warriors.
Takes it up to the 35-yard line.
That's where they'll start it. Xavier Henderson on the return for Franklin. And now we'll get a look at Samuel Mattia and Kasim Ashford. Mattia, the 5'7", 155-pound quarterback. We saw really the beginnings of his career last season. You know, that year of maturity for anybody is just so huge.
Yeah. They have a very athletic offense, and so our defense is going to have to remain disciplined and stay home, get the corners on the defensive end, because they're going to be looking to get to the outside.
Handoff on first down does go to Ashford, and he dances for about 2.
Yeah. Did a great job of shutting down the inside run, and he bounced it outside, but was still able to get 2 yards from it.
Last year, you know, there was a couple of plays that we were like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? What just happened? There's a 65-yard touchdown. Like, you know, so it's not like Franklin is incapable of throwing the ball.
Yeah.
They're just pretty effective running it. And it's going to be Ashford again, this time looking for room off the right side. He sheds the first couple of tacklers, and then he's met by a host of Cougars about 3 yards shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those kids who's got like the size and the speed, so he's going to be hard to tackle, so you're going to want to get the ball in his hands. So he's going to do a lot of running today, I'm sure. You know, he's 6'1", 210.
And he's fast.
And he's fast.
You know, that helps when you're huge and fast.
When you get a train moving pretty quickly, it's hard to stop.
Clock rolling under 7 minutes to go first quarter. Montgomery leads at 7-0. It's a third down for Franklin, and it will be inside handoff off of misdirection, but Montgomery not fooled and they drop Ashford for no gain. And let's see what Franklin's going to do here. Looks like they're going to keep the offense out on the field, and maybe not.
You think? Ah.
Yeah, Mattia.
That's surprising. I would have thought they would go for it.
Especially the way Montgomery moved the ball down the field there.
I mean, maybe that's why, because they're only at like the 45-yard line. I would definitely be
be wary of fake here, and it was going to be, and that is, wow. Well, you know what? I'll say this. Now we could bust balls about this because I love it and of how much I talked about it last week, but it actually ended up working right there for him. So we only took one timeout last week out of the 6 that we get.
Yeah.
And I was just joking throughout the game that I was like, well, we're definitely calling one on extra point. Like, because Zoran just loves calling special teams timeouts.
Yeah.
And there he called one just before Franklin got the snap off. And for the Warriors, it kind of showed their hand a little bit, that the up back ended up taking the snap there, So Zoran ends up looking like a genius. And now you got to wonder if that changes Franklin's plans at all. And it looks like maybe they're just going to go for it.
Yeah. I mean, Zoran didn't do that on accident. I know he did that on purpose.
So here we go, 4th down. And it's Ashford, and he's got it. And he's keeping those legs churning across midfield down to the 47. Looked like if they had just corralled him right away, that they might have been all right.
If you mean if they stopped him at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
where did that first contact occur?
I feel like if you stop somebody at the line of scrimmage, you'd be very
Is that good?
You'd be very successful. You do that like 3-4 times in a row.
You're like such a dick. I got to tell you. Oh, my goodness gracious. New set of downs for the Warriors. It's been the Kasim Ashford show, as we thought it might be so far here in the early going. Sam Mattia, and he's going to throw it for the first time. He zings it out complete here into the flat, and a nice tackle made by Joe Rossman. The pass out to Wadiu Smith, 5'11", little scat receiver. Only goes about 135 pounds or so, but that's why they put you in a slot, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was such a slow developing play, though. I'd like to see our corners up a little bit faster on that because I feel like they could have definitely stopped them right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's one of those things where, clearly they're concerned with the speed of the Franklin receivers, right?
Yeah, I mean, true. That is absolutely true. But are they concerned with the quarterback's arm?
Well, we're going to find out, I suppose, at some point tonight.
Yeah.
And there's another bubble screen out to the right this time. And Franklin gets another 9 or 10 yards, depends on where they spot it. That time it went to Alpha Kalan, another 5'7", 150-pound receiver. How we doing over there, Pogue? You good? Got us all good to go? Feel free to verbally respond to the audience at any time.
What? We're on the air?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is.
It's the big.
He gave me the thumbs up, like all of you could see. You're like J.D. Harmeyer, okay? If anybody listens to Howard Stern. It's like, J.D., you got to talk, bro.
He sounds pretty successful.
Yeah.
He does. Now he gets to work in his basement, too.
He's
for Howard.
He's famous, right?
He is. Here's reverse. And it's going to be Mattia. He tried to be out in front blocking. And a lot of room into the secondary to the 10 to the 5. It's going to be a touchdown for Franklin. And Xavier Henderson on the reverse. And he goes 37 yards for the Warrior score.
Yeah, that's what Franklin has, athleticism. You give him a little bit of space, and it's going to turn into a lot of space.
That time, and you see, obviously what we just talked about, speed kills you. New head coach and coaching staff here for the Flashes. Blair Wilson, obviously has the team rolling. As its first offensive possession results in a score.
Is this Franklin's first game of the season or second?
It is.
It is.
Fairlawan is on for the extra point. A little bit of a high snap, and the kick is up and good. though that one was probably a little too close for comfort for
That was a great job off the edge.
Franklin.
Was that Nino?
We saw that how often last year with Benitez coming off the edge.
Oh, yeah.
So Franklin says, Montgomery, whatever you can do, we can do better. Well, maybe not better, but
Also.
just as good.
Yeah. We could do
Took
also.
them about 4 minutes, and we're right back where we started, and that one is knotted at 7. So this is the first time, obviously, in the young season that Montgomery has faced even a little bit of adversity, because they were really in control of that Robbinsville game right from the literally the first play of the game. And I would argue that, honestly,
Nobody
that
was
first
worried.
play took so much of the wind out of the sails of everybody at Robbinsville.
It kind of gave Montgomery the confidence that they knew they should have, and just they went with it.
Correct.
You know. So I think in this game, though, they kind of knew this was going to happen, and that they were going to have to play some solid football for 4 quarters. So it was good that it happened now in the first quarter. It was kind of an eye opener, and hopefully our defense can now make some adjustments, knowing the type of game plan they have.
Gotta wonder if Franklin, they obviously knew about Davino from the tape last week, but now do they change something even from the first drive to the second drive in terms of how they're going to cover something? This is where the chess match comes in, right?
Yeah, I think you stick to your guns, man. Do what you practiced, and hopefully your kids can step up.
A little deeper this time, and backing up to the 15-yard line is Eubanks, and he returns it out only to about the 25 or so. So well done coverage-wise for the Warriors.
Yeah, Eubanks kind of bounced it to the right, and most of the blocking was to the left, so the ends on the Franklin Warriors were able to get there and make the tackle.
That's weird. I was going to say the ball is spotted all the way back at the 20, but both line judges are up at the 24. I didn't know what that was all about. That was just a simple goof up initially from the officials, but they got it right. So 1st and 10 for the Cougs. 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Welcome to high school football on a Friday night. 1-0 Montgomery here in the season opener for Franklin. This is going to be Eubanks, and he runs into a wall and is dropped after about 2. And Schmelzer, if that was RPO and not just run all the way, Schmelzer made a really wise business decision to get rid of that one.
Yeah.
Because he had pressure all up in his face.
I'm telling you, these yellow numbers on white jerseys, is it just me or is it difficult to see?
Well, that's why I got the binoculars, baby.
I know.
Because I know that I can't see the yellow numbers on white jerseys.
I'm trying to see because they're press covering one. Is that Davino? Are they press covering Davino?
They are.
Yeah.
It is going to be Schmelzer looking to throw. He throws it up the left side, looking for Matt, and just a little too tall in between the corner and the safety. Little double move. That time, I'm sorry, was McManus as they were looking for him.
So that's interesting. It's interesting. They're playing a press guy up on Davino on both sides of the field. So
Schmelzer over to see Sean Carty. This is the first 3rd and long Montgomery's really faced this season. An early game inflection point here in Somerset.
now they're giving some space.
Schmelzer's going to roll out to his left. No pressure, throws, and that one is incomplete. It was at the feet of McManus, and he was open, and if he had held on to that and maybe a little bit of a better throw, and that's a first down.
Yeah, he kind of rushed the throw. I think he saw them open, and he wanted to get it there as fast as he can. He didn't set his feet, and the throw was just a little bit off. So
I always wonder why you run that play to the opposite shoulder of the non-dominant throwing hand of the quarterback there. Like, it's a much easier throw for Schmelzer if he's rolling to his right, you know?
Yeah, it's also expected. Well, that's a
decent line drive kick up the right side. they do a good job of keeping it away from Alpha Kalan, and Franklin will have no return and start at their own 45.
It's an interesting strategy.
Well, look, it's the exact same thing in the opposite direction. Speed kills you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're on one side of the ball, you can't say it's not going to kill you on special teams.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with these Franklin backs, it's important to, not give them space. And you get a nice long high kick, you're going to give them some space. Producer Pogue doing what he does best.
I was going to say, well, I got to wait till he gets back on
He's
for our
all
Busted
over the
Stones.
place.
Full house backfield. You don't see this much anymore for anybody. And it's Ashford as the deep back. And he is going to be dropped after about 3. Pogue, don't look now, but you're like producing.
Oh, you said it. Something bad's going to happen now.
No, like you went over and like gave direction to people.
I know.
That's crazy.
It was amazing. I think I saw a tear in Glock's eye.
Like
a little like
it's like my child is growing up.
Oh, man.
And now he's going to leave.
Wait till I tell him about the journal I keep about our progress.
Oh. Mattia drops the snap,
ooh,
and
good hit.
Ashford gets leveled in the secondary by Schick.
I like it.
He was kind of stumbling on the way down, and Zach Schick laid the wood.
Yeah, took advantage. You got to do that, man. A couple more hits like that, he's going to be a little bit more apprehensive going up the middle.
And found out what it was last week, too, for big Robbinsville running back. It was a dislocated shoulder poke that he was dealing with.
And he came right back?
And he came back, yeah.
Jeez.
Mattia's going to throw. It's a little jump pass out into the flat. Ashford, and a great job by Montgomery to run to the football. And I couldn't see if it was Post or Rossman, the first guy there. It looks like it was Brady Post, who was the initial guy to get, the hands on the legs.
I mean, they did a great job just breaking down and staying in one place and being able to make that tackle and not over pursuing. Because that's tough, man.
Yeah.
So big 4th down.
Mattia. He's got Ashford with him on his left side.
It's certainly going to Ashford. Oh.
And that looked like a false start. And let's see if they stop it. They don't. And it's going to be complete out to about the 36-yard line. It really looked like there was a little bit of movement from Wadiu Smith, who ended up catching the ball in the slot before the ball got snapped. But, oh, wait, hold on, Ed. See? Look at that.
There you go. You know what's going to throw me off? I don't know who is on Montgomery, but they have penalty flag yellow cleats on right now. It's like it's running off the field, but
come on, dude. Yeah,
you have the binoculars,
you
man.
know, you know exactly. No, no. You know who it was?
Share
I was
the
looking,
binoculars.
I was looking at it, and I was about to make fun of one of our own because I thought it was a 78, but it wasn't. It's I thought it was Zapansky.
Oh, yeah. Oh, get there.
Bad snap, and Franklin's still going to be able to get the punt off, and thank goodness. That is a unbelievable job.
By that kicker.
A just unbelievable job by Fair Lawan to have the wherewithal to get back there and actually punt that ball. That completely changes the field position by about 45 yards.
Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, just the game, knowledge right there.
But a good job by the Montgomery defense to get off of the field. So under a minute to go in the first quarter, and it looks like we got ourselves a ball game. Montgomery is also going to go with a couple of backs. Eddie Kyan on the left, and it looks like Schmelzer's got, we'll just give it to Kyan anyway, and he's going to get wrapped up.
Oh, here we go. Tension
Got to take it easy already. Got to
Yeah.
take it easy already.
Tension starting to get high.
So we'll see if they make Montgomery run another play or not. But I suspect that they will try to anyhow. So 2nd down and 10. Eubanks now the single setback. McManus is in the slot, and they split Davino out wide to the left. And are they going to make Schmelzer snap it? The official blows the whistle with 0.6. They say officials timeout. I suspect that here I'm going to make an official's theory here about what happened. The referee knew when he blew the whistle how much time was on the clock. The back judge didn't start his beeper. And when he wasn't counting, the referee said, this is taking way too much time, and this should be a delay game. But because my man wasn't counting, we're going to tell somebody up here to put more time back on the clock and do this thing over. That's what I bet is going to happen. I bet you that we're going to put some more time on the clock.
Oh, if he's right. Oh, man.
7 seconds.
7 seconds.
Do you want me to get the clip ready?
Oh,
No.
man.
Not yet?
No, save this for next year.
Okay.
No.
Save this.
No touchdown was scored. You don't need to clip it.
Save the audio. He called that they were going to put time on the clock.
No touchdown was scored.
Are they going to go to their sidelines after this play?
I would bet that they might break for the
Oh,
quarter after this
man,
one.
Whoa.
I-
You
that's a
think?
bold-
I don't know, man.
Bold prediction, Cotton.
They roll the clock with 7 seconds to go. Montgomery now under absolutely no pressure to snap it, and Schmelzer is not going to.
And they don't.
So wait, am I right? Am I right?
Oh, look at
Oh.
him. Look at him going towards
Everybody
the
going to
sideline.
the sideline.
Man, everyone.
1 quarter in the books here at Franklin. Montgomery 7 and Franklin 7. We'll be right back with the 2nd quarter right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back here to Montgomery. Listen to me. To Franklin. I wish we were at Montgomery. 2nd quarter, 2nd and 10 for number 10. Michael Schmelzer will look to throw, and he's going to try for Davino all the way up the left side and a little too far out in front. Really good coverage out there.
He had some space though. I think if the pass wasn't a little deep,
Xavier Henderson
could have made a great play.
again out there on the coverage. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 10. It feels like, they've gone to that deep shot a couple of different times, and, you want to start maybe layering the ball in a little bit.
Well, it keeps him honest though.
Oh, for sure.
'Cause now you got to go for.
And Schmelzer is going to roll to his left and throws, zips it. Davino's got it, and he makes one-man miss, and he may be off to the races. And he's going to get dragged down from behind inside the 30-yard line. A big gainer for Schmelzer out to Davino.
Get up, get up, get up.
36 yards officially on the catch and run for Davino. A little slow to get up for the junior, but he looks to be all right.
Great way to start the 2nd quarter.
Schmelzer signaling to everybody what we got going on. Elijah Diarra looks for a little bit more guidance, and he gets it. And Schmelzer is going to throw again. Throwing over the middle this time, and he looks for Diarra, and he was lined up at tight end. It went right through his hands.
It was a little high.
Man, that was – nobody was expecting that out of that formation and that play, and it looked like they got what they wanted there, and Alaji just couldn't pull it in.
Yeah. It would have been an amazing catch, though. It was a little high, a little behind him, but still got his hands on it. Good effort, though.
So 2nd down and 10. We are tied at 7. Schmelzer, inside handoff to Eddie Kyan, and Eddie keeps the legs moving for a nice little gainer. Nice tackle by Cameron Anderson for Franklin.
Solid little gain.
6 yards for Eddie. We haven't seen Guidetti in the backfield yet. These are the moments, boys, where anybody could feel free to talk, so that I don't have to.
Nah, Tim, that's your job today.
Yeah, I was,
Listen, we can draw up the cross-country practice plan later.
Yeah. I already got it. Run.
Run. Turn left. Sometimes back to the right.
Oh.
Schmelzer just a little bit inaccurate there on that one as he was looking for Nino Spera out to the left, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
I love Nino, man. He's worked so hard this offseason. I'm watching him run routes after track practices in the spring. He's really doing a fabulous job, man. He runs a nice crisp route. Even that one was really great. He was wide open, created space.
A big 4th down for Montgomery and Schmelzer. They're just outside Trey McFadden's field goal range here. Schmelzer trying to go on the hard count and now looks to Carty for some guidance. I wonder if this is a spot where they may just take a timeout if Franklin doesn't jump, because maybe they do want to kick a field goal. We'll see. No, they're going to throw it. Schmelzer picked and fumbled, picked back up, and still on his feet up the left sideline. Schmelzer's the only guy to take him down, and he does at about the 25-yard line. That was about as funky a play as you're going to see.
I mean, he dropped that ball, and it just bounced right back up into his hands. That doesn't happen very often.
Couldn't see if that was a 30 or a 38. It looks like Mikhail Muhammad was the interceptor on the play. And the first real miscue of the season for Schmelzer has Franklin set up in business.
That's a big, big turn of events. Putting a lot of pressure on the defense right now. Let's just look at that. Trey McFadden's a freshman, man.
Oh, yeah. We're waiting. He got a couple of snaps at wide receiver at the end of the game last week, and apparently he is every bit the burner that his brothers are.
Yeah.
So my argument was wait until he really gets rolling alongside Davino. That's going to be a pair that's tough to stop.
Yeah, always a fan of McFadden on your track team.
No doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's Ashford again with a head of steam this time, and he's running with a purpose, and he's got about 8 yards to the 16-yard line. Easy for me to say.
I would be surprised if we see anything but what we just saw for the next 4 plays. Next 3, yeah.
One of the great things about high school football, as my man Mike Myers once said in the movie Mystery Alaska, it's not rocket surgery, okay? Sometimes you just need to go with what's working.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I said this before when I used to call the offense for the, JV or sophomore team. I would just run the play until it stopped working.
No doubt.
And then I'd run it to the other side.
Ashford's got room. He's looking for the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Franklin.
Yeah.
Nothing complicated about that, Tim. Just jet sweep off the right side.
Yep. You got wheels. You use them.
So Franklin on top of Montgomery now, 13-7. First time Montgomery has trailed all season long. 9:45 to go second quarter. So obviously a ton of time to go between here and by the time it's all said and done. Muddle huddle for Franklin a la Cougars, and they're going to snap it out that way. And Montgomery was ready for it, but it looks like the officials are going to stop it before it gets started.
It looks like it got started and finished already.
False start
I
by
know.
Franklin.
Now that could be huge.
So now Franklin's going to try
Kick it.
traditional PAT. The hero of the previous drive, Fair Luan, will try to knock it through here for the Flashes. Low snap. They get it down, and the kick is good. Sneaks it through.
Just barely.
So the mechanism may not be working exactly how they want it, and from a special teams perspective, but no matter, Franklin 14 and Montgomery 7. We'll take a break, and we'll be back right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. All right.
Ugh.
Welcome back to Franklin. Warriors on top of Montgomery 14-7.
Ball have trouble
But,
staying
yeah.
on that tee.
You know, blustery, windy winter day like we got out here in
Yeah.
Somerset today. It's going to happen. Can't really ask for a better night of weather on a Friday night in September.
Yeah.
And yes, unfortunately, it is September.
Fall football at its finest.
Lawan, again with a little pooch kick. And Eubanks has got to go get it. And almost recovered by Franklin. You got to figure, somebody said, dude, you got to fair catch this thing.
Yeah, you got to go up and catch it. It's
Can't let it bounce. It's the one
No.
thing you can't do in a pooch kick like that. That was exactly what Franklin was looking for.
Yep.
That's the kind of thing that ruins games, too. You know, you're down now, a touchdown, and then all of a sudden you get a fluke play like that, and then they go down and score again, and, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, a snowball rolling down a hill.
I mean, you got a kicker that can effectively do that, and that's dangerous. It's tough. But I mean, it was Eubanks who was there to field it.
Right.
I mean, he should know better. He should be on that.
Well, I will guarantee you that he's being reminded of such.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they told him
At least
right after it happened.
Yeah. Or he will be tomorrow.
So Schmelzer. Inside handoff to Eubanks, and Chris keeps the feet moving for about 5.
There you go. That was always my when we were playing football in high school. When you made a mistake and you knew you made it, and in my mind of just listening to what my coach is going to say to me on Saturday morning when we rewatch it on the film.
Yep.
You're like, oh no! I can just hear Zorn. I can help Coach Millich right now.
So Schmelzer on 2nd and 5. He's got 2 backs, Eubanks and Eddie Kyan, and it'll be Chris again. And just kind of pitter-pattering his way for about 4.
I like it though. He was able to read the hole is closed, bounced it out to the right, and we got an extra yard or 2.
3rd down and 2 for the Cougs. This is one of those where you're just like, doesn't really matter how you do it. Just you need about 1 3/4, get yourself 2 yards at least, and move on and reset the down markers.
3rd and 2 is great for the offense because defense is, doesn't really know what's going to happen here. It could be anything.
And it's going to be a pass on 3rd and 2. Schmelzer, and again incomplete, looking for Diarra out in the flat.
Yeah.
And Alaji just couldn't hang on to it.
It's a shame, too, because I think on the left he had a couple wide receivers that were wide open.
That's one of those situations, again, where you saturate one side of the field and to isolate the other, and you have a matchup that you like, but, you got to hit at least one of those two.
Yeah.
And Montgomery was unable to. McManus is back deep to punt it. And he gets it away. Nice kick. And Franklin, that was a little too dangerous maybe for what Franklin wanted.
Great job. That was a nice kick by McManus.
So it looked like a punt of pretty much exactly 40 yards.
You want to keep excuse me, sorry. You want to keep pinning them deep, Long sustained drives are, I don't really think what Franklin is going to excel at,
Yeah. This must have been a situation where one of the Montgomery gunners must have touched the ball out at the 23, and that's why they moved it back up there.
Yeah.
Quick direct
Keeper.
snap to Ashford, and he's going to be dumped after a gain of about 4. Anytime, to your point of what Montgomery doing it earlier, any team breaking the huddle that quickly, you're not expecting hard count after that. There's a reason they want to get going. It's because they think you're not ready.
Yeah, you get those 260-pound guys running to the line, they're up to something.
Pistol formation for the first time. And this is going to be a handoff up the middle, and
nice
nothing
job.
doing as Montgomery right there.
Just met him right at the line.
Great job by the Cougar linebackers stopping Tyre Williams before he could get anything going. And it'll bring up 3rd down, and a big 3rd down it is.
Yeah, you got to really dig your heels in here and don't let him get this first down.
This is pretty much exactly what we expected out of this game, a much more experienced Franklin team. Sam Mattia, and a great job by Montgomery shooting the gap.
I know, beautiful time for a blitz.
Gadetti, boy, did they miss that last week. Gavin Gadetti drops him in the backfield for a loss of 4, and that's going to force Franklin to punt.
That was awesome because he was there before the ball was really, you know what I mean? He flew.
When you combine a great play call with a great athlete who's pretty intelligent and knows what to do, that's the kind of thing that can happen for you.
Let's see what they got going on here.
Montgomery sends everybody to try to get it. They just missed getting there, and it's going to take a Franklin bounce and keep on rolling inside the 35-yard line. So another great punt.
Special teams really doing a good job on both sides of the ball here.
45-yard kick for Franklin and Fair Lawan. So that flips the field.
So I feel like this is a big drive. I mean, if you can get a 6-minute drive and cap it off with a touchdown and go into the half tied, or or up, depending if you go for 2.
Let's see if Michael Schmelzer can work a little bit of his magic. As he will send McManus in motion, and now said, no, you know what, go back the other way. It's going to be a screen pass, and they got a little bit of running room here as Eubanks, but actually a great job by Franklin.
I think it was a great job by both teams. I feel like Montgomery set up the screen really well. They had nice lead blockers. Obviously, Franklin did a good job breaking down and getting the stop before the first down. But
you had two guys out there, and Dante McQuilla for Franklin just kind of sliced between them both to get his mitts onto Eubanks.
I mean, the setup of the play was nice. Just going to execute a little bit stronger.
Two receivers with Keon flexed out here, and Schmelzer's going to look to throw. And
good backside block.
And it's lofted up there, and that looks like it's going to be a catch. I think so. The officials are talking. They're talking. They're talking. What are we going to say? What are we going to say?
They're looking for the footprint.
And since nobody says no, we're going to say yes. We'll give it to Ethan McManus for a first down inside of Franklin territory.
That was a great backside block, though. He had a defensive end from the left side coming out his Schmelzer's blind side and was able to pick it up. I didn't get the number, but excellent job to give him just enough time to make that pass.
Where this is the times where I'm always like, man, you know what? Officials' mechanics really are important. Because I'm sitting here waiting for the guy to, bring the two hands down from his, from his face into his stomach to signify the catch. And we never got that on that one. McManus again in motion. And they're going to go trickeration here. This time, Davino is going to be caught in the backfield. Again, McQuilla.
Kind of just broke down from the beginning, and they kind of kept at it to try to make it happen and just got farther and farther back in the backfield. So that's a big hit right there.
And that's a huge loss on that one.
Yeah.
10-yard loss.
Going to be third in a taxi cab ride. Maybe I should say Uber now.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Come on.
We'll get with the time.
What are we, second-class citizens here?
Yeah, taxi.
And by the way, I check both apps before I order one. Oftentimes one is much cheaper than the other. So third down here for Schmelzer. He's flushed out of the pocket, stays on his feet, and throws it up and out of bounds. And looks like there was some laundry on the field.
It's somebody's towel.
Oh, is that what it was, a towel?
Yeah.
I thought the officials had somebody. No, there was a foul. Holding on Montgomery.
A penalty. Or are we calling them fouls now?
They kind of go interchanged in my brain sometimes.
Yeah. Too many MIRE episodes. You got to go bounce back.
No, too much lacrosse. To be quite honest with you.
I didn't think there was such a thing.
Yeah, we again, that's like one of those things. Penalties, fouls, like we call them kind of both things in lacrosse. So.
Oh no, I meant I didn't think there was such thing as too much lacrosse.
Oh, yeah, there definitely could be. That's why I don't ref summer lacrosse, man. I like it too much to ref summer lacrosse. To get yelled at by Billy's dad all day.
Yeah. You had a good spring season though, huh?
I did. It was a lot of
great
fun.
games.
It was a lot of fun. I live a privileged life in this spring, I'll tell you.
Big down.
Schmelzer.
Get him,
looking deep, throwing up the right side, and just off the fingertips again of his favorite target, Davino. That obviously would have had the first down if Matt was able to haul it in.
Yeah. Schmelzer and I have a different field vision from up here and from down there. The left side slot was pretty wide open, but obviously that was a backside read.
It's one of those situations where you're going with
Davino,
the guy that you trust. They're like, we got one-on-one coverage with my guy. I'm going to let him try to go make a play.
A guy who's had 2 touchdowns last week and 1 already this week. Oh, high snap.
McManus gets it down, no pressure whatsoever. And a short kick, and it will go out of bounds.
But they're doing what they want to do. They don't want Franklin to be able to return any of those. So
4:38 to go. First half. We've hit a bit of a stalemate here in Somerset. But Franklin looking to go on top. And now we're treading into that territory of the game where it's make it, take it, so to speak. If Franklin can drive the ball the length of the field, score, they get it again after the half, remember. So, you're potentially looking at
it's a big deal.
A very big game-changing set of sequences. So Mattia,
Good pressure.
he will look to throw. Oh, nearly intercepted. Joe Rossman with great coverage out there.
I like it's going to give Montgomery some time if Franklin keeps choosing to pass.
James Hare Sawyer was the intended target from Mattia, but Rossman certainly not fooled on that one. One of the team's captains. I don't know that you needed to do that if you were Franklin,
No, I would just keep giving it to Ashford, man.
right? I mean, if you're going to do that, you know you have like one decent play action play in there. You may as well run the ball a couple of times and then all of a sudden throw play action. But no, they're going to throw it again. Mattia, and that one's dropped that time. Because
So-
you know what? All of a sudden you have a near pick. Now you have a drop. Now if Montgomery can get off the field, now can Montgomery score before the half? You know, two plays ago, I'm predicting doom, and now
Yeah.
all of a sudden we may, you're looking back and you're thinking,
Now
hey,
we're-
let's just get off the field.
Now we're thinking best case scenario here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is a big down right here. Almost forced to pass, but I wouldn't put past maybe a sweep, a jet sweep or something like that. A little confusion down on the field.
Not sure what it is we're waiting for.
Franklin has snapped the ball.
Franklin now will get set. And Mattia,
Timeout.
I guess, there's times when Franklin just doesn't have, or any team just doesn't have the right play. And you're going, you know what, let's just sit here for a minute. Maybe they'll jump offside and give us some yards because we know we're going to call timeout. Anyway, let's take a break. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back here to Franklin. Big third down play. And an ill-advised throw is intercepted by Rossman. Joe Rossman coming the other way. Inside the 30, and he's down to the 25, 24-yard line. And that is a game changer.
Well, hello. I mean, that was just really good defense. He put himself in a position where he could make that catch, went up to meet the ball, didn't wait for the ball to come down to him, and then to get the 10, 15 yards extra, that puts Montgomery in a really good spot right here. Still a lot of time on the clock.
Talk about play design, play selection, and those type of things, right? You do that 3 times. It almost looked like an identical play to what they ran on first down. And disastrous consequences.
It's just so surprising to me. They had 4.5 minutes left.
Davino out now to the left, and it's Eubanks off the right side. And he's got about a yard or two.
I would just take my time, man.
No doubt about it. I mean, you don't want to give Franklin the ball back with
Yeah.
too much time here, even if you score. But
you want to put them in a position where they're going to pass. You know what I mean? And so there needs to be less than 2 minutes on the clock left.
Montgomery obviously changing things up. Just with the way that they're aligning now in terms of, what side of the field they're looking at. McManus in the slot. And it's RPO, and Schmelzer keeps it. A stiff arm. Schmelzer runs over his own man inside the 10 into the 5. And it was McManus that got the business end of his own teammate. And Schmelzer sets up first and goal.
That was one of the hardest hits I've seen all game. That was incredible.
Man, Schmelzer's going to let McManus have that one in film room, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be like, you got to get out of the way. You do something or get out of the way.
The guy that tackled me, could you hit him? That would be great.
Would have been great if you were ahead of me and blocked that guy
Yeah.
instead of on your back because I ran you over.
Oh my gosh. We kid because we love.
Yeah, no, he was doing a good job. It's hard to know where your quarterback is, especially on a run pass option.
First and goal for the Cougs. Eubanks to the left of Schmelzer in the shotgun. The motion man is Sparrow. They look, throw, caught inside of the end zone. Touchdown, Davino.
Nice.
Matt Davino again.
I just feel like everyone loves him, you know. Curry passed him the ball, you know, now Schmelzer's getting him the ball. He's like a likable kid.
The first 2 games of the season, they couldn't have gone better for Matt Davino. A pair of touchdowns in each, and we're not even halfway done this one. Muddle huddle for the Cougs, and they don't snap it out that way.
I would have loved it.
Scored on a 2-point conversion on the first touchdown last week in that same manner. Good snap. Schmelzer gets it down. McFadden, and he puts it through without too much trouble. 2:56 to go in the half, and Montgomery has pulled even with Franklin. We'll take a break. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back here to Franklin. We're seeing if we can produce something that maybe a little will help us stop buffering a little bit. But, you know, all the technologies and all.
Yeah, some people like buffering.
But, you know, a lot of you will, likely will watch this on the replay anyhow, and that should be the full HD version as we always do. In any event, Franklin will get a chance here to counter before the half.
Back to even.
And a little juggle of the kickoff at about the 15-yard line.
Nice tackle.
Big stop by Montgomery.
He's got a little bit of ankle. That's all you need, though.
Holloway and Eubanks there for the Cougs. And another good job by Xavier Henderson. That was aggressive for Henderson to go up and catch the ball, which you know I love.
I mean, I don't really think he had much of an option, though. What was he going to do, let it drop?
Well, a lot of people would and say, oh, just get it on the first bounce. And then you know the first bounce never goes the way you want it.
That's a terrible idea. I like my man Holloway flying down there, though. Did a great job in coverage. So now let's see if they go back to the pass attack or, no.
Nope. They come back to the ground, and a good job by Montgomery. First guy through was Diggin, and that really kind of botched up the whole works.
Yeah, it just made him bounce it a little deeper into the backfield and just try to get flat to the sideline. And was able to stop it for no gain.
And a flag, so let's see what the officials have to say about it. Certainly in the area of holding. But the Franklin coaching staff seems to think it's the other direction.
It's been a relatively laundry-free game this week, or this half.
Yeah, and it was that way last week as well, and it actually is against the Cougs. So that one will move the ball out to the 35.
All for naught.
Officials possibly a little confused.
Yeah, it seems like a big penalty. Is defensive holding a 5? Isn't that a 5?
No, that's a 10-yarder.
It's a 10-yarder.
It's a 10-yarder. So, and they need to reset the sticks on the far side too here.
I was going to say, so they need to move the chains.
No doubt about it.
We'll get it. We'll get it sorted.
Yeah. Mattia will hand off to the deep back. And again, bouncing to the outside. After initially being bottled up, it's Ashford up the right side. And a touchdown saving tackle by Schick.
What a great tackle.
Zach Schick makes a great play to keep Kasim Ashford off the highlight reel and out of the end zone.
You know, that's one of those plays where you do a great job on the defensive line, jamming it up, and he just bounces to the outside, and the end didn't really keep the edge, and he ends up getting enough room to get up the sideline. But Schick did a fabulous job just grabbing that ankle at the last minute.
38-yard gain, and here's a sweep out to the left side. Brady Post as a hand and does a great job to just latch on and say, Xavier Henderson, I'm not letting go, my friend, before some friends came and helped finish him off. What a great job by Brady Post.
Yeah. I mean, they have to make up for that big play, so that was a great start. Still got to make a couple more plays.
Loss of about 3 on the play. It brings up second down and 13 from the 25-yard line. Clock rolling inside of 2 minutes now in Somerset. Mattia will run back the other way with option, and Brady Post again there in the backfield to drop him. And the official is Brady's got to be careful.
Yeah, I was really expecting a flag to come out.
And he reached. That is the textbook definition of reaching for they call it hitching.
Yeah.
That was a hitch right there.
I mean, I get getting excited, but you get back to the line. I mean, he's playing phenomenal defense. I get being excited. You know, 2-3 big plays in a row, and
that would have been a killer penalty if that flag got thrown.
Yeah.
After consecutive losses where you make the tackle and then all of a sudden you're going to give up an unsportsmanlike conduct. But, you know, the NFL's cracked down on just exactly that play.
Going to blitz on the outside.
And under pressure, throwing up the left side, and that's going to be interference. Yeah. Interference in the end zone. That's a good call.
No, I mean, it was a terrific call because it was interference. But
Sparrow played it perfectly until the last half second, in reality. Just didn't get his head around, and he ended up in a position where, you know, he got a hold of the receiver that impeded him from getting the ball. And you know what really, you know, is kind of important on that play you can't really understate is the job by Mattia to put the ball in a place where the receiver could even have a chance to go get it. He throws that thing out of bounds. You know, a lot of officials are going, well, like, listen, I'm not calling interference there because the ball's 10 yards out of bounds, you know?
Yeah.
What did you interfere with?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, he got himself into a position where he didn't really know where the ball was, and he didn't want to give up the touchdown. So kind of in his mind, it was better to give up the penalty than to chance that the ball was in the right spot. You know, it's a difficult decision to make.
4th down and a yard because it's not an automatic first down on that pass interference.
Getting a big play here. Send the horses. Ashford up the middle, I'll guarantee it. Oh, did we jump?
They were looking for a jump, and they didn't get it. Ashford off the right side, and no. And that was 3rd down, not 4th.
Oh.
So he does not have it.
Killing me, Glock.
Well, it was the down marker said 4, and then the person holding the down marker started reaching for it before the play got started. I couldn't watch that and the play. Sorry. Maybe the color guy could watch that next time.
I mean, you got me super. I didn't just make, you know, assumptions and say, 4th down.
Timeout now for Montgomery.
Montgomery?
And shockingly, they weren't trying to kick an extra point.
Yeah. We're on special teams.
Now, I think that's when you better know exactly what you're doing on on that play defensively there, because it's the difference between potentially points or not.
Well, I mean, there's
heading
only
into half.
16 seconds left, so you know what I mean?
But if you have bad personnel out on the field, numbers wise, or formationally not what you want, and then you go to the half with one in your pocket, but that play results in a touchdown because you didn't stop it and say, hey, let's make sure we're lined up right.
Yeah.
You're going to be kicking yourself for that.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, on the other hand, you had Franklin. I don't know. Franklin had 16 seconds to get the playoff, so they're going to be rushed. Now they have all the time in the world, so they're going to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more prepared.
At the end of the day, which big guy can push the other big guy to a place he doesn't want to go? See if somebody can make a stop or run by it.
Yeah.
4th down and a yard.
Get Ashford up the middle.
Look at this formation, full house. Ashford will heavy pistol, and he gets it, and he's tackled. I don't know if he's got it. I don't think he has it.
I mean, if it was where his knee went down, definitely not.
He got tripped up in the backfield, and they're going to say no. Montgomery football, that's a huge stop by the Cougs.
Wow, that's some momentum for you, baby.
Great job by Montgomery to bust through. And you know what? That's one of those things where when you pull out a play like that on offense, if it's not something you run all the time or practice all the time, sometimes you're better off just going with the bread and butter because everybody's repped it a million times.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, there's nobody on the field happier right now than Nino Sparrow.
Oh, no doubt.
No
doubt about it.
Nobody happier. Crisis averted.
Montgomery looks like it's going to be content to just take this one to the half as they go into the victory formation here. Smelger is going to take a knee, and they'll let the clock run out on the second quarter. 12 minutes plus 12 minutes equals no change. 14 apiece here in Franklin. We are at halftime, game number 2 of the 2022 season. We'll be right back with some analysis and the second half coming up right after this. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Franklin High School. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, Nicole DeMace, and hopefully we might have gotten some of this technicality stuff, I mean, pretty much the story of the MIRE, figured out.
Blasphemy. That is blasphemy to say that.
I don't agree with that at all.
We always say we got it figured out.
Turns out
we fixed it.
if you just roam around until you find a spot where the hotspot actually likes it,
and apparently the roof.
it might work.
Yeah.
It might work.
It's in the parking lot right now.
Yeah.
We already had it. I feel like we were shaking hands with God in the first half with where we had it.
Right.
And
now this is.
I got up on a ladder after that, and now it's like basically it's hanging out in God's lap.
Yeah, now it's the promised land.
Pretty much. But since we moved it and since we connected it in a different way, it looks like we might have it actually figured out. So for all the haters in the comments section.
Oh, I saw it.
I
saw it.
I know.
I saw it.
And you know what? It's deserved hate. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, of course it is. They're being nice.
I actually got to give like the 28 people that hung in there for most of that first half. You know what? You get the payoff now. We actually did this just for you. We wanted to see who would stick around.
Also, the dedication of haters to subscribe just to say it. I like it. I support that fully.
Well, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Listen, you can hate me as much as you want, as long as you subscribe.
I feel bad for the ones that stuck it out, got frustrated at halftime, and left.
And then the people that roamed in are going to get the good quality. Yeah,
listen,
that's tough.
Who's the greatest broadcaster of all time?
Keith Glock.
Where are you going with this?
No. It's a dead serious question.
Oh, okay.
Dead serious question. Though I appreciate the comment, not Keith.
I like Michael Kay. I'd say he's
nope,
up there.
not even close.
Tony Romo.
Not, please. No, not sports. Just all time.
Oh, Walter Cronkite?
No. Howard Stern. Okay.
You have a lot of confused people right now.
No. Howard Stern is by far.
What's he announcing?
By far the best I said broadcaster.
Oh.
Okay, he's the best broadcaster of all time. He completely eliminated a medium. FM radio is basically kaput. He took a chance on moving to satellite radio. Anyway, we're getting off the beaten path. I could sit here and tell you a whole mess of reasons why Howard Stern's the best broadcaster of all time. But when Howard Stern was becoming Howard Stern in the late 80s, early 90s, and he had these ratings through the roof, the number one reason why everybody watched him was, well, I love him, and I can't wait to see what he's going to say next. And then the other half of the people, the second biggest demographic, were the haters and said, well, I hate him so much, I can't wait to see what he's going to say next. So you know what? Love me or hate me, baby, just subscribe. Doesn't matter.
Everybody loves
and Poe's going to be a father in like 15 minutes. How could you hate that?
Oh, boy.
I mean, I hope not 15 minutes.
Yeah, seriously. I was like, I am at least 45 minutes away.
Because he's missing something.
Let's hit the brakes there.
Labor takes a while, dude. She could go into labor. You could be like, sweetheart, there's like 6 minutes to go in a third. All right, give me a break. I'll be there when I get there.
Coming from the guy who doesn't know.
All I know is she doesn't watch the
No.
games because she loves me, but not that much. So all I know is if she hears you say that,
She ain't
I am not agreeing.
She
I
ain't
am
gonna
not
hear me
agreeing.
say
I
that.
know she's definitely not
What's wrong
watching
with you?
this.
I'll tell you, like 5 or 6 years, she might watch the games because I know that my family does because my son and daughter like to listen to
Heather, I would never say that about your family. I would only say it about Matt's because I know that Amanda's not listening.
It's so true.
Just saying.
She's probably ordered Indian food and is watching TV that I hate right now.
Like,
So she's attempting to.
So she's living her best life.
No, she's attempting to force the pregnancy to end.
The spices.
Right,
I
that's
don't.
why.
I don't like that move. I don't. Not right now.
Well, that's the thing, right? You eat spicy food, it's supposed to make labor happen.
sure.
I'm dead serious about this.
I don't know if it works, but it's supposed to be true.
Eat spicy food, and it is supposed to induce labor, kind of.
Yeah.
Sure.
Walking is another one I'm being told.
Well,
Okay.
just not right now.
we
Just not right now.
Can't say that. We can't say that on the MIRE. There's sometimes you got to make an executive decision. The producer hands you a bit of information sometimes, and sometimes you just got to say no. All right? It was a good piece of information, but not one for the broadcast.
Judgment.
There's some moms out there at home going, I know what he was going to say.
No, you don't. Yeah, you might. Yeah, you might.
So anyway.
So how about the football game, huh?
How about
that?
the Cougars,
How about
man?
that football?
How about that?
A great defensive stance to end the second quarter and just keep it even at 14. So now we gotta kick the ball off to start the second half.
Yeah, you know,
And
you
then-
really need to build on that momentum there. You know,
Yeah,
I think that
Defensively, we had to keep that going.
yeah.
And I think what I liked the most was the the ability to stop the run. I'm not reading what you're reading.
No, we're just we're laughing at the live comments. We don't need anybody gouging any eyes out.
Yeah.
It's great. It's not, though I don't blame you. Don't blame you
man.
whatsoever. It's all good. But
All right, let's go.
think we got it rolling.
Make it happen.
Montgomery hopes it's going to keep it rolling as we're getting ready for the second half. Can we like tuck this in like somewhere where it's not going to be right in front of me the entire day? Hold on a second here. See if that works. There you go. Thanks, Poke. Producing all over again.
Nice.
From
Big
the 8
kick.
for Franklin. And a big tackle as Franklin tried to go up and over the top. Colin Diggin grabbed a hold and said, no thank you very much to Xavier Henderson. But a good return out past the 30-yard line. That's where Franklin will start it. First down and 10. It's a new ball game. Tied here at 14.
Yeah. I'd like to see. I mean, I'm sure that Franklin's going to come out running like they did most of the game. Like I said earlier, it's really important for Montgomery to continue that momentum they had with stopping the run, because at the end of the second quarter, they did a great job just getting into the backfield and making Ashford bounce the outside and getting some good tackles.
So it'll be a handoff on first down, and a good job again by Brady Post to streak into the backfield. And that time it was Tyir Williams and not Kasim Ashford. I think I might have figured out the solution to getting you to actually talk during the broadcast too. Like
Which one of us?
yes is the answer to that. I took my headset off to fix the wiring out of here, and I feel like it compelled Tim to keep talking through the fact because like I couldn't talk because my headset was off.
Yeah.
And messing with every time I need you all to talk, I'm just taking the headset off.
I was like, oh shoot, I got a moment. You know, Glock's not talking. Let me.
Oh yeah. Here is Ashford, and he keeps the legs rolling for about 3. So it'll be third down and 5 or so for Franklin. And Montgomery, you know, we mentioned it here before the half. You can get them to go 3 and out. I think that may play a little bit more, into the psychology of how the second half's going to go if you can make that happen.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? That touchdown saving tackle, when he grabbed the ankle. How big was that?
Oh, no doubt. Zach Schick, it's huge.
Yeah. Now that it's all played out, but that was a huge play. Oh, he's jumped.
And no bueno.
Yeah, that's not gonna
for the Cougs. Lucas Clark just a little bit anxious to get going there on the left side of the Cougar line, but not enough for a first down, but certainly makes it a lot more makeable for Franklin. Big time backfield, and it's going to be play action as they roll out to the left. Now looking to throw, under pressure, escaping for the moment, and then no good. Brady Post there initially, but Franklin still keeps the leg moving, but it looks like they're going to whistle it dead.
Oh, it looks like they're jumping. Did the ball come out?
Montgomery comes out of the pile with the football. Let's see what they say, because the line judge on the far side stopped well short of where the pile was, as if the momentum was stopped.
Oh, they give it to him.
Wow, how about that?
That's nice.
That's just interesting. And if I'm Franklin, I'm not real happy about it, because where they're spotting it was where the line judge was when the pile kept moving. So the pile moved past them, and then the ball came out certainly after that point.
Yeah, because it begs the question, if he doesn't fumble, where do they spot
Right, where
it?
are you spotting it then?
Yeah.
If it's still at this spot, it would have been short. But,
know.
listen, I'm not saying that's an easy call. It's just curious as to the spot. So, anyway, Cougs look to benefit from the turnover. Schmelzer with some time. Now he's going to look and just throw it away as he takes a big lick.
That's one of the ones you get scared at because he jumps in the air to make that throw, and then, two Franklin guys right there to make the hit.
You know, one of the things that you love as somebody who's like the fan and the whatever, you're like, oh man, you just like waited for the guy to come open, knew he was gonna get hit, and I'm like, bro, just run away and throw it out of bounds. Like,
save yourself.
Seriously, it's the second game of the season. My goodness. Second down, and it's going to be Eubanks as he whittles his way off the right side for about 4. So Chris keeping it moving. So, of course, now as we talked about, Schmelzer taking the big hit reminds me of something we haven't talked about yet, as we had an injured Franklin player. Team's backup quarterback, Garrett Probaka, who's a heck of a quarterback in his own right. When Schmelzer was set to start, it was, pretty much right up to the day before the game that it was open competition between Probaka and Schmelzer, and the coaching staff went with Schmelzer, despite the fact that Mark Probaka, Garrett's father, is, on the offensive staff here at Montgomery. So that tells you kind of they felt good about Mike. So I don't blame Garrett for transferring, as he did to Immaculata, right when the school year was complete last year. Because, look, I don't ever begrudge a kid moving a situation because he just wants to get on the field. All he wants to do is play the game, right?
Yeah.
And I can't fault him. I miss him to death because if you know Garrett, this is another one of those situations where I was his counselor. So, get to know the kid a little bit, right? I mean, as hyper respectful as, the kid you want in the room, right?
Yeah.
A model for other kids, to look up to and see how you want them to behave. So to lose him from that perspective was huge. But, look, I wish him all the luck in the world.
Yeah.
Because I love the kid. I love kids that want to just play. Because I know I wanted to just play.
Yeah. He's a great – I mean, I miss him from track. He was one of our track athletes. He's a great kid. And like you said, he was a leader in a lot of aspects, and especially in his demeanor and his approach to dealing with people. So he was a great asset on the team. And I'm sure Immaculata loves having him.
Third down and a long 5 for the Cougs. It's Eubanks in the backfield. And Schmelzer's going to roll to his left. Looking to throw back over the middle, and it's incomplete as he was looking for Davino. Good job out in the flat by Franklin to bracket McManus. And that forced Schmelzer to do that awkward body turn that you saw there to try to find Davino back inside. And that's one of those things where we talked about when you're rolling away from your dominant arm, right? Like, you can't just, you're not Super Stretch Armstrong, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's such a difficult pass, and they seem to do it a lot with Schmelzer. Interesting to see here. We're on 4th and 5. They're going for it.
Big 4th down for the Cougs from the 36-yard line of Franklin. Schmelzer looking, throwing, incomplete, and through the hands of Davino. Had he held on, it would have been good for a first down, but as it is, a turnover on downs.
I mean, that was a tight window, so great job by Franklin defenders to close pretty quickly and make it a difficult catch. Davino's great, but those are really difficult. Now we get to see that Montgomery defense again. I mean, they stepped up in to start the second half. They got to keep that momentum going and make sure they're getting, another 3 and out.
So Franklin takes back over at the 35-yard line. And this is Ashford. And a great tackle from behind by Montgomery. Just hitching a ride was Golubitsky. It's a good tackle by Ethan.
Yeah, really honing in on that running game. And I think a lot of it has to do with the interception at the end of the fourth quarter and just defensively, they've been very good against the pass, haven't had too many big plays, with the exception of a few bubble screens that they were able to pop out. But that gives you a little bit more confidence to go after the run, and now they're doing a great job getting to Ashford.
2nd down and 8 for Sam Mattia and his crew. He's got 3 backs with him. Again, it's a low snap. He looks for Ashford and gives it to him. And knifing through into the backfield. Gavin Gaddetti with a huge stop back at the 36.
I mean, that's what you got to do to a guy like that. You got to go low, and he was able to get the legs and stop him from going forward.
6 foot, 195 pounds. He did the summer tour to, all the high-level D3 football schools, in the Northeast. If you follow him on social media, you saw him up, at some NESCAC schools and, at TCNJ and places that certainly fit Gavin's academic and athletic prowess. And you can see why those schools are interested in after a play like that. So here is Mattia throwing over the middle, intercepted again. It's Schick, his 2nd huge play of the game. Zach Schick still on his feet, and now he's tackled inside the 25-yard line. Zach Schick, the defensive player of the game so far for Montgomery.
I mean, he's having a heck of a game. Lots of big tackles. He's making great plays defensively. He's, like you said, defensive player of the game for sure right now.
Mattia just overshot the tight end, and Schick was Johnny on the spot, setting Montgomery up in business again in Franklin territory.
It's a great big play right there. Now we just got to get it together offensively.
Seeing the size and speed of Franklin on the line causing some problems for Montgomery here tonight. Eubanks in motion. Schmelzer's going to look to throw. Rolling to his right. Rolling. Now he just throws it away.
Smart play.
Yep.
Nobody
and
open.
Boy, do I love that. We talked about it last week after I goofed it up because I had forgotten that the rule had gotten changed. Because prior to this season, that play would have been an intentional grounding play. We're used to watching college football, NFL, quarterback rolls outside the pocket, right, gets the ball past the line of scrimmage, and you can throw the ball out of bounds. It was never that way in high school, and I thought how stupid that was because we're trying to teach kids to make good decisions all the time, and it's like, well, the good decision is to throw it out of bounds. And they're like, no, make sure you try to throw it to the guy that's real covered.
Yeah.
Stupid. So they changed that one, and Schmelzer's going to look to bounce it off the right side. And if he could have gotten past that last linebacker there, another great play, it looked like again by Mikhail Muhammad. If he was able to get past Muhammad, he had Alhaji Diarra out in front of him.
Yeah. Back to the intentional grounding. I mean, really, it's about player safety. If that play, if he just keeps it and runs with it, he's going to get hit. As opposed to now he's able to get it out and save himself that contact.
Yep. Third down now and 10 for Montgomery. Schmelzer's got Eubanks in his hip pocket. And he'll look to throw. Going deep for the end zone. Looking in there and just a little bit too far out in front. And that time he was actually looking for Alex Lemus, the tight end. A well-designed play, and Schmelzer just missed him.
They say football is a game of inches, right? So that was an inch away from being a great catch.
Ugh. Just a tad too far out in front. So 4th down now for Montgomery. Franklin defense has really done a good job first 6 minutes of this third quarter. McManus is in the slot as Schmelzer looks to throw. Mike now is going to step up and try to run with it. And Mike flicks it forward. It's caught inside the 15 to the 10. Was he past the line of scrimmage? They're going to say no. A fantastic play by Schmelzer. How about that?
That was fantastic, is right.
Eubanks kept it off of the ground, off his shoe tops. What a fantastic play by Schmelzer. I'm watching it here on the replay, and I think Franklin might have a case.
A gripe right there.
They might have a gripe. watch this again here. I know you all can't see it, but yeah, and you know what? And you all missed it because it cut out. So I'll apologize for that one in advance because we're sitting here watching.
But it was amazing.
So what? Well, now it begs the we need to re-explain it. Schmelzer scrambled forward. It looked like he was past the line of scrimmage. Circled back, flicked it out like shovel pass, but the shovel pass was like 11 yards down the field.
And 2 inches off the ground.
Yes, and a great catch by Eubanks. He turned it upfield and has it out of bounds for Montgomery, first down and goal inside the 10-yard line. But upon looking at the replay, it looked like Schmelzer was past the line of scrimmage on his initial kind of scramble up the middle.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that tomorrow when they look at it at film, they're going to be maybe a little upset in the locker room at Franklin.
So much for that, Pogue. We had one big, great offensive play for Montgomery, and the internet's failed us. The line of scrimmage was the 35, and Pogue just screwed me there. Thank you, Pogue. Appreciate that. Play
that was the viewer experience.
Right. I get it. Yeah. Or I'm sorry, the 25. And and it wasn't by as much as I maybe initially thought, but
enough to be certain.
Yes. He was past the line of scrimmage.
Got a little injury timeout on the field.
Yeah. No doubt about it. Looks like a cramp. Again, we oh my God, we had more cramping situations. Zapansky came in the office today, and we were busting his stones because
that's what we do.
I said, well, yeah, of course this is what we do. He was in pursuit, and a kid who was not nearly as big as him made a block on him near the sideline, and he cramped up, like right near the sideline. So I was just like, listen, if you could not, you're a big boy, if you could not let the littlest kid on the field push you over, that would be great.
He did a good job getting out of bounds, though. I'll give him
I
that.
said,
I'll give him that.
thanks for sliding your rear end out of bounds so we could get out of there.
Oh, man.
He was laughing.
It's been hot, though, and these kids, you get a couple days of cool weather. You don't drink as much water as you should.
It's September 2nd.
Yeah.
That's very, very early for, 2 games of football under your belt.
Well, I mean, and none of these kids, as it is, drink as much water as they should. They got to be drinking like a gallon of water a day. How many of you think of them are actually doing that?
I know. So a first down and goal for the Cougs from the 9-yard line. 6:24 to go in the first half. 2 receivers split out to the right. In their usual formation, it's McManus
Let's go.
and
Touchdown.
Davino. And this is going to be Eddie Kian. Eddie up the middle, busting through. Oh, and a shoe-top tackle at the 3-yard line. Eddie had visions of the end zone there.
Eddie's another kid. He's on the track team, and it's just a hard worker. You want to see him be successful because you want him to see what's all that work he's put on in the offseason was for. And he's doing a great job already this season. I'm really impressed with his ability in the backfield.
Give us to the up back. Brady Post bouncing off of guys. Is he into the end zone? He is. Touchdown, Cougars. No ball security issues that time for Brady Post as he punches it in for 6 from 3 yards out.
Offensive output this season has been pretty impressive. I mean, last year we went in spans of games where we didn't score, 21 over 2 games.
Oh, no doubt.
21 over 3 games, and now we're
Here's a little fake. Schmelzer looking to throw for 2, and they've got it. Far side of the end zone to Davino. That's something we haven't seen. The quick direct snap and run the opposite direction of the muddle huddle.
Dude, I love it. That puts them in a great position right now. It forces Franklin to go for 2 if they get another touchdown. So just gives you another opportunity to get that stop.
Nothing Zoran Milic likes more than a little special teams trickeration.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't call timeout.
It's an 8-point lead for Montgomery. We'll be right back. You're caught in the MIRE. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back here to Somerset. Keith Glock, Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, and Nicole DeMace. The whole MIRE crew, well, the adult MIRE crew anyhow. Certainly not the full army of maniacs that we employ at certain points. And employ is a loose term as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it at all, actually.
Yeah.
Collaborate with, maybe. You can word it that way.
Here's the
Utilize.
kick. No doubt about it. Taken at about the 5-yard line by Ashford, and another great job by Golubitsky to jump on his back and hang on for dear life.
I mean, that's great. I mean, that was always my favorite was kickoff because you're just going full speed down there trying to make some contact. And when it works out for you, it's a good feeling.
Kasim Ashford is an absolute load to try to tackle.
I mean, he's got to be getting tired, though. He's been, talk about
Timmy,
utilization.
he's 18 years old, okay? Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's 18, 17, whatever. He's a 17, 18-year-old kid. He's not tired. He could run all night.
He's 210. He's 210.
So what?
It's a lot to push around. I don't care how tall you are.
Meh. So Franklin now down by 8, and a little misdirection, and another good job inside. That time looked like that was Lucas Sapansky in there to make the stop, and
our guy.
He needs a break. I think he got rolled up on there a little bit.
He's got a cramp.
Mike Bellamy, the big old freshman. You didn't hear us talk about him last week, Timmy. I don't know if you know Mike yet. 5'10", 247-pound freshman.
Ooh.
Mike Bellamy.
Maybe he'll hit a growth spurt. Get a little taller.
Oh, goodness gracious. Second down. And it'll be a pass and a completion just shy of the first down to about the 29.
Brings up a big third down.
Yep, Alex Lemus on the tackle.
I've been impressed, really, with our defensive line and linebackers this whole game. Actually, defensively altogether, I've been really, really impressed. They've been putting on a pretty good show.
So a big down for Franklin. You really need to keep the chains moving.
I mean, I maybe just because I'm aggressive in this thing, this is a 2-down territory for me. He's going to give it to Ashford twice.
To me, this is I'm going run blitz through the B gaps right here and saying, if you want to beat me on the outside, I think our corners can hold up. And it's Ashford, and he is hit right at the sticks. I think he's got it.
Yeah, it looks like
line judges signaling to stop the clock, which typically means a first down. Gavin Guidetti did his level best, but it is a first down.
You know, it's hard to that 1-2 yard gain is hard to stop when they're just sending all the big guys forward. But closing in on the end of the third quarter.
Clock rolling, 3:30 to play in the aforementioned third stanza. Montgomery out to a 8-point lead, but we got a great ball game here in Somerset. And here's a handoff and a little more daylight that time, about 5 yards for Tyir Williams.
And one of the things Montgomery's been doing really well is their defense hasn't been on the field a long time consecutively.
Right.
You know, Franklin's not putting these long sustained drives together. So, you know, you got to do your best right here to kind of get them off the field and let that keep happening, because that's how you're going to be successful.
Sam Mattia brings his troops to the line of scrimmage. Heavy backfield again in the pistol. And this is Williams again, and he is tripped up after about 4 more. So it's going to be third down, and we'll call it a very long 2.
Getting some personnel change.
Or rather, a very short 2, I should say. I'm sorry.
Well, 2's 2.
Not every 2 in football is created equal, though.
Yeah.
Could be a yard and an inch, or, you know what I mean? It's like or a yard and 2.5 feet. They both can turn into 3rd and 2. And it's Ashford. He's got the first down,
Got some
and
space.
he's into the next level, and a first down pass midfield.
Still a good job, everybody closing in on him, because he's a strong boy. Once you let him get his motor going, it's hard to tackle him. So you're going to need, 2 or 3 of your buddies to get in there on it.
Joe Rossman had a decision to make there because he had a hold of him, and his initial move was to go get the ball. And what he realized, I think, quickly was that he was the first guy.
Yeah.
So, you go for the ball only, and then he squirts through all that, that's a big problem.
Yeah, you're less likely to stop the momentum.
Little misdirection and a stiff arm, and still on his feet. And a first down, a big hit at about the 25-yard line, but a great run from Mikhail Muhammad.
Yeah, really nice misdirection because it fooled a lot of the Montgomery defensive line.
A huge hit out in the secondary. Guidetti, no surprise, is the guy delivering the blow out there. But
we're walking back.
Yeah,
though.
that's not good for Franklin. There's got to be some laundry on the field. See what the officials have to say about it.
You got to assume some kind of hold.
Yeah. Something we didn't see. Looked like the flag came out at about the 42, so yeah, that's where they're going to back it up to.
Well, fortunate break for Montgomery.
No, and it was actually it was further back than that.
So
Probably
about the time he broke to the second level, somebody in the second level was holding.
So brings up again a big first down rather. And Ashford, he's got some running room still on his feet. Rossman again there, but Ashford just inspiring the crowd, keeping it rolling, and says, doesn't really matter about the penalty. I'll get us another first down.
Kid's putting in some work.
No doubt about that.
I mean, that's when we're most successful, we're getting to him before he can get any kind of momentum. Because once he does, he's really hard to tackle.
You get the feeling that this one may end up coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
And it also just goes to serve maybe a little bit more of my curiosity as to, those play calls that led to the interception by Rossman, right?
Yeah.
So here's Williams off the left side, and a great job in the backfield by Montgomery. And that time Lucas Clark had Tyre Williams from behind. He drops him for a loss of 2. And that's going to do it for quarter number 3. So Lucas Clark puts an exclamation point on it, and Montgomery's going to take it to the final 12 minutes, up by 8. A big defensive stand, a big final 12 minutes on tap here in Somerset. Stick with us. You're caught in the mire. It's the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Welcome back to Somerset. Well, you fix one problem and the other one creeps back up. So scoreboard problems abound here as Pogue's trying to fix that from the production space.
All you need to know about the scoreboard is we've got more points than Franklin right now.
Well, we're going to have to keep letting everybody know about it. And
Big
here's
pass.
Mattia. He's going to load up and throw up the middle, and it's caught inside the 10, but there's a hanky. Hold your phone, folks.
Yeah, but that's almost an
And
area.
it's a hold. Coming back.
What a great pass, though. I haven't really seen him.
No, that was clearly the best pass of the night from Mattia.
Yeah, I haven't seen him really perform like that, and that was just on the money.
Clearly the best play through the air of the night for Franklin. You got to wonder why they were holding that one back
I know.
to this point. And you know what? What a backbreaker that hold is there. You know, not only because it negates what was a huge gain in an attempt to tie the game, but if you did something different formationally there, right, you know, you just it's the second time in the game you tipped your hand and you lost it because of a timeout and the second time because of a penalty.
Yeah, I mean they've really been shooting themselves in the foot. We've been fortunate. I mean, playing well obviously, but very fortunate that Franklin has been making the mistakes they've been making. Ooh.
And again, Montgomery a little too quick to want to get going.
Yeah, they were coming in hot.
Guidetti was coming in hot, and so was Eddie Kian trying to come off the edge.
You're just trying to time it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I actually love the play call, by the way. They just got hit for a huge penalty.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then you're just trying to add insult to injury, you know. I like it. Way to pick that up.
And another deep pass up the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted again by Schick. Mattia again looking down the chute. Boy, Zach Schick's been everywhere, huh?
Yeah, he's playing phenomenal today on defense. I'm really surprised with Franklin, though. Like, every time they pass the ball, very few things good have happened. Like, and every time they run the ball, they've been having moderate to a lot of success. You know, I'm just surprised. It's first down. Don't go away from it. You know? But, I mean, I'm glad they are, obviously.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, and how about this? You want to talk about a hanky in the opposite direction. A personal foul roughing the passer on Montgomery.
Oh, that's a big one.
Zoran Milic looking for an explanation.
There he is.
I certainly did not see it. That is an automatic first down on the personal foul. So
That's
all
big.
the good. Oh, it's huge. That's huge.
It's a huge penalty. Yep.
Ashford's back in.
And they're going to give it to him.
They are looking for room off the right side. Cuts it back, and he runs into the waiting arms of, that time it looked like Diggin. So no gain on the play.
Yeah, it was good. They took away the hole. He had to make a couple decisions and not really get any kind of forward momentum going, and they were able to make a great play, stop him in the backfield. Defense has been on the field for quite some time, so hopefully they got the endurance to finish this drive out. You know, 3 more stops.
Second down and 10 for the Warriors. Ashford flips over to the opposite side, and they are going to go play action and try to throw. Mattia up the right side, looking into the end zone, and nearly an unbelievable catch just off of the fingertips of it looked like, couldn't tell if that was Xavier Henderson or Alberto Martinez. I think it's Henderson.
I mean,
Wow.
all in all, great play. A very nice pass. Good effort by the receiver, and actually decent defensive coverage, because it put him in a position where he had to, you know, lay out for the ball and couldn't really get to it.
That was a heck of a throw and almost a heck of a catch.
Yeah, he's actually putting a few nice passes together in this second half.
It almost, I mean, Mattia looks like a different player on this drive throwing the ball than he has
Yeah.
the entire rest of the game.
Sometimes that happens. You make a big play, and then you're like, I can do this. And even though it was a penalty, he made a very nice pass to kind of up that confidence.
For sure. Trickeration. Here comes the reverse on 3rd and 10. And there's some room there. And stopped inside the 30-yard line. Well done by Montgomery.
Yeah.
Just enough backside discipline to make sure that there wasn't a huge gainer on the play in the reverse. But there's a flag, and it's a hold.
Yeah. Talk about discipline.
Do you decline that? Because
Nah.
from there, it's 4th and 8. Well, no, 4th and 6.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I would.
You back him up?
I back him up, man. Because, I mean, 6 yards for them,
Yeah.
it's been,
Just the nature of it being 4th down, you have to ask the question of whether
Yeah.
you want to give him an extra down.
Yeah.
But I certainly understand this. This is the smart play, the textbook play.
I certainly wouldn't begrudge them if they chose to decline it, but
Mattia stepping up. He's hit, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Sacked by Brady Post at the 46.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, what do you do if you're Franklin now? Obviously, I don't think you. I think you.
I think you
punt
punt this.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think you punt it, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's a smart play.
Yeah,
here.
I think this is. I think it's absolutely the smart play.
But I think Eubanks is gonna get some carries now. Try to eat that clock up.
This is you're having the conversation already. Well, number one, you're watching fake here, but this is not a good spot for a fake. It's just not.
No,
You got too far to go. I'd be surprised if they don't actually kick this. And it's blocked. It's blocked. Great play by Montgomery, and it looks like it was Nino Spera in the backfield. Nino got through the first wave and got a fingertip on it.
My man Nino. And that's what he brings to the table, man. That intensity, and he's a fast kid, so just getting around that corner, getting his hand on the ball. That's a great play, and gives us decent field position.
But you know what? Still another great job by Fairlawan. I mean, he has been fantastic in not ideal situations punting the ball today for Franklin, and quite frankly, without the punt that he was able to get away in the first half, and if this one doesn't get to where it got to, and Spera blocks it all the way back
50.
there,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's had a lot of pressure tonight. Even on the extra points Franklin has kicked, Montgomery's done a really great job at getting to the ball.
Schmelzer will indeed hand it off to Eubanks, and Chris is going to be stopped after a short gain of just about 1.5, 2 yards.
It's like now you just look at the clock and you watch it tick away. You try to get a first down and keep moving the ball so you can just watch that clock just get lower and lower.
I don't think you want to get so conservative that you get out of.
No, you keep your game plan.
Right. If you see something here,
just wait a little longer to snap it than you normally do.
This to me feels a spot like where you're like maybe you go RPO and hit a quick one. Now you don't even need for RPO. Schmelzer's going to zing it out here. And through the hands of Eddie Kion. Puts his hands right on his helmet because he knows that one was tailor-made for about 5 or 6.
That was my move.
What, dropping the ball out in the flat?
Dropping the ball and putting my hand on my helmet. Smacking my helmet like it was my helmet's fault. I didn't have this thing on.
Oh, man. It's like the kid that beats up his stick in lacrosse after he does something stupid. I'm like, bro, the stick didn't do it. Now you're going to waste $200.
Are you too good for your home? Get
in your home. Ball.
So big play, man. This is if you can get a first down here, that'd go a long way.
I think you run it here. I know. I'd be wrong.
Oh.
Cardi turning it over to Schmelzer, and he's just a little too tall as he was looking for Davino, and that will bring up a punting situation for the Cougs.
That's all right. I mean, you stopped Franklin from scoring. You took some time off the clock. Now, hopefully you get a good punt and put them in some difficult field position.
Schmelzer hasn't looked exactly quite right in this game, as sharp as he typically is. Because maybe that's just the unfair expectations that he has set for us so far.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of his passes have been rolling to, his opposite side, so it's hard to make those passes. I mean, and he's such an athlete, we expect it, but, great punt.
Backpedaling to the 28, and now looking for room up the right side is Tyree Hyman, and he is tackled all the way inside the 30.
Yeah.
So that's a big punt for McManus, about 32 yards. But just kind of it felt longer than that, right?
Well, kid ran 50 yards to get 2. He ran all the way
when that
across.
happens.
He ran all the way across the field. But great job by the coverage team, because that's when you give a kid that much time, and that's when things break down and some blocks happen that you're not expecting. So great discipline by Montgomery's coverage team.
A relative eternity still to play in this one.
Yeah, lots of time.
It's a one-score game, and how big does the two-point conversion potentially loom, right? Here's Ashford running hard off the right side and spins himself out to the 35-yard line. Gain of about 5 or 6.
I mean, yeah, the two-point conversion is just gigantic because, at best, they can only tie. That's the best thing they can do right now. So Montgomery in a good position. But defense has got to come up huge again.
Heavy backfield again for Franklin. And again, it's Ashford. And he is wrapped up immediately that time, but keeps the feet going. He's really close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot. I think they're going to say maybe a hair short.
Oh, that looks more than a hair.
So it'll be 3rd and a yard. And you know what? Something stupidly little like that, like getting him to the ground there and forcing 3rd and 1 as opposed to a first down there. Like, this is another one where you're like, well, we can't not get the first down here, right? So, and you don't want to say it's a waste of a play, but, like, you're going to hand it to Ashford here, right?
Yeah.
And he gets it up the middle, and he's got a first down. But you know what? That took you some time to do that, right? I know they're going to stop the clock, but you took an extra 20 seconds to huddle. They're going to spot it, and they're going to restart it. So, you can't predict 6 minutes from now, but if Franklin runs out of time by 20 or 25 seconds, maybe you point to a little play like that, where Montgomery was able to get him to the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it's a long time, and Franklin hasn't, I don't think offense has been on the field for 6 minutes in one clip all game, so I wouldn't imagine that it's going to happen now. It's either going to be a big play for a touchdown or we're going to get our defensive stop. Hopefully. Oh, the big play defense.
Ball's on the ground. Who's going to come up with it here? Big pile up. Mattia looked like he had jumped on it.
See, I thought Montgomery.
That was one of those where Mattia was the first guy to it, and then 3 huge guys jumped right on top of him. And sometimes you don't know what happens when that pile
ball
gets
just
rolling.
Pops and then, no one knows. It's a free-for-all down there.
If you want to be a little grossed out, if you don't, you're not of that era, go Google Bill Romanowski and the pile. Did some messed up stuff in the pile in the NFL over the years.
I'm sure it goes on still, but, maybe a little less than it had in the past.
Nearing the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter, and this has been a good one. 2nd down for Franklin. It's Ashford, and a huge hit in the middle. Brady post there to make a big pop on Ashford and drop him for a loss. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 12.
And Brady Post having himself a day, huh?
Yeah, we saw it last week, right? And so it really shouldn't be a surprise. We talked about it in the pregame. Guidetti coming back in, Post, moving over back to his normal spot, can play a little bit more freely.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, he's been involved in so much, and so many of them have been big plays for Montgomery. So He's having, like I said, he's having himself a day.
Let's see what Franklin dials up here. 4 receivers. They spread Montgomery out 2 each way. Play action on the RPO. They try to come back. A little screen out here. Montgomery's got it snuffed out.
Nice
A great job in the
coverage.
backfield. It's the 2 single digits, just like we talked about on cue. Guidetti in post.
So now, I mean, this is a tough call again, man. It's 4 minutes left. I mean, I say you punt because there's so much.
I agree.
The field position doesn't, you're almost giving the game away if you don't get it. But at the same time, like, time is a ticking.
I just watched that, as we have the phone open here too, which is about 10 seconds behind, the actual live feed. As we're maybe going to have a timeout here. We are.
Special teams, of course.
Let's see. And, of course, it's a Montgomery special teams timeout. We're going to start making odds about how, not if Montgomery's going to call us, but how many. So to finish my thought from before, we got to look at, that tackle by Post and Guidetti there. And what a great job by Brady Post, because the ball was obviously coming out their direction. Guidetti had the inside contain, and Post had a decision to make, right? Do I break down? Because where he was going to break down was going to be roughly at the 10-yard mark from the first down, right? I always felt like that's a mistake because he would have broke down maybe 4 or 5 yards from where the ball carrier was. You would have given him an opportunity to turn, get upfield, and get his bearings. Post just, like a rocket ship, took off, hit him as he's turning, never give him the opportunity to get his wits about him, and ended up dropping him for a loss.
Yeah, I mean, it was an impressive tackle, and I mean, like you said, anytime that you can do that, you want to do that. You want to fly to the ball, put your hat on it, and hope for the best. So it looks like they're going for it.
Is this like a quick kick opportunity or something like that? I don't know. The referee now blows the whistle because he's not happy with something.
It's like, you guys need to punt. Come on.
And a timeout. Another timeout for Montgomery. I didn't know you were allowed to do that. You allowed to do that?
2 special team timeouts?
No, but I'm saying call 2 timeouts in a row.
No, I don't think you're allowed to.
Well, it just happened.
Is this an official timeout?
No.
They took it from us?
They pointed towards Montgomery.
Maybe they were telling them to go back to their huddle.
That's definitely not what happened. We definitely just called a second. Now, look, you may be able to do that. I don't in high school. I don't know the answer to that. Let's just say this. It's atypical.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But this just gives us another special teams timeout. So that's 3 on the day, right?
That is 3 on the day. All right, fine. We're back up to normal. I was getting a little concerned that Zoran was getting a little out of his element here. You know what I mean?
Cramp.
You just cramped
I just cramped in my leg.
This is a sad state of affairs, folks. This is what happens when you get old.
Well, I mean, I came from cross-country practice where I ran 6 miles with everybody, and then jumped in the car and sat down.
You should have seen Pogue flinch. You yelled cramp, and he jumped up out of his seat because he's used to Amanda yelling cramp, and he's like running over trying to massage your feet.
Cramps are not funny right now.
See what I did there? It's a different kind of cramp, Pogue. You're okay. Mattia.
Get in there.
Scrambling out to his right. Throwing. And nearly intercepted again. But it doesn't matter.
It's better that he didn't. If he would have intercepted
right,
it,
no doubt about it.
Would have been upset.
Right. It actually would have cost Montgomery like 35 yards. Zach Schick's pissed because he didn't pick it off. Everybody else is happy if you're a Montgomery fan. And the Cougs take over.
He's going to go back to the huddle and be like, good job knocking it down.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, yeah. That's what I totally meant to knock that
exactly
down.
It.
Yeah, it was a smart thing to do. I get it.
By the way, I sprained my wrist banging on the ground. But don't tell anybody.
That was celebration, though.
That's
It wasn't frustration.
That's correct. All right, so now Franklin really needs to stiffen here.
They got to play some solid defense. And I think Montgomery's going to run it, obviously, to get the clock keep on going, but we shouldn't be afraid to, mix in a quick pass here and there.
Run the ball. That's what I say.
Obviously, that's what you're going to do.
Only thing I'm saying if I'm Sean Carty is run the ball, and ball security.
I mean,
We are not fumbling on this drive. That's what I am telling anybody that could potentially have the ball in their hands.
so
You know what would be great here? You know, it's
yeah.
not going to happen because they're not going to go under center. I'm telling you right now. They're not going to go under center, so I'm not even going to say it. Okay? God forbid they do go under center, though.
And you get a broken play? That would be amazing.
Listen, just saying.
A broken
Not saying.
power.
I'm just saying. Okay?
I like how you hedged your bets right now because if
Well,
it
yeah,
were if it were to happen,
a great broadcaster
you're-
does that.
you're
One
like-
that doesn't want to be wrong.
I mean, they're
ever.
not gonna do it, but
Just in case they do
just in case they did, I called it.
That's right.
Oh boy. So how can we milk this 328 out? How many timeouts Franklin have here?
They have 2 left, so
Two left,
they
alright.
they will be able to get the ball back probably with about 3 minutes to go, but they'd have yeoman's work to do, as we like to say. Second down for the Cougs, and it is Eubanks. Chris breaks into the second level, and he's about 2 yards short. Yard and a half.
I love it.
That's a big run for Montgomery.
I love it. Big play. You're obviously going to run it 2 times in a row right here to get this third down. Or
Yep.
This conversion.
I like this. This is a good job by Franklin, though, to not use the timeout there.
Yeah. They're going to need it on the next series if they get this first down.
Right. You call it, yeah, there's no doubt about it.
There it is.
And Brady Posts has it as the up back. He's still churning the feet inside the 25-yard line. Officials stop the clock for the moment, but a new set of down for the Cougs.
Dude, I love Brady Post moving that pile. I mean, you expect it from the Franklin running back, Ashford. But for Brady, he's a little bit smaller a kid. I'm trying to look at his stats here. Can't find him.
Brady
Where is
Post,
he?
number
Yeah.
2, buddy.
Oh, number 2. There he is. Yeah, he's like 5'10", 190. So not that he's small by any means, but he's not 210.
Timeout for Franklin. They're second, so 1 left there. So if you're Montgomery, you're going to be able to bleed. So let's say you bleed 6 off on this play. That'll get you to 232, and then a timeout. And then from there, you got at least, say, 105, because you'll get 25 seconds on each play clock. You figure 5 seconds in each play. So let's say by the time you could potentially give it back to them.
With a minute left.
Yeah.
Minute and a half.
A little less than a minute and a half, I would say, would be the earliest Franklin could get this back. In reality, from here, if you're Montgomery, you're probably going to go for it on 4th down.
Yep.
So
for sure. I mean, the field position, you're not gonna punt.
that probably gets you down to 120, and that's if Franklin stops you.
Potentially, you get 5 yards rushing. You could go for the field goal.
I would not do that.
I mean, McFadden looks like he's got a decent leg.
It's Post. He breaks through. He's in through the 20, and he is near but not at the first down marker.
So they're going to let it run.
He needs to be just inside the 15-yard line for a first down.
Got about 2 yet to go.
A first down here pretty much ices it. All, insanity aside. You won't be able to quite kneel on it, but you'll be close. Schmelzer under center. It's Post. Churning the feet, spinning. He's got a first down, and now he's inside right near the 10-yard line. So Brady Post does what Montgomery needs and picks up the first down. Depending on the spot, it'll be go to goal, maybe a first down. I think it's going to be first and goal.
Playing big when it matters most, man. This offensive series has been really good for Post and really churning his legs and getting some extra yards that got us the first down.
Franklin still with a timeout, electing not to use it. So Schmelzer's going to milk every second of this one. Can't take forever. First and goal from the 10. Eddie Kion's the wingback. It's post and Eubanks. Schmelzer. Turns, hands to post. Brady searching for the end zone, looking for the pylon. He's got it. Touchdown, Brady Post.
Yeah. Nice job.
Icing on the cake. 2 touchdowns apiece tonight for Post and Davino, and Montgomery goes on top, 28-14.
Really putting it on offensively this year already. I'm impressed.
You know, and the other thing that's really impressive for Brady Post is last week after the ball security issues, you know, he actually fumbled going in on his first touchdown as well, but they said he broke the plane before the ball came out. Bad snap, Schmelzer's got it, and he just throws it out to the left and out of bounds. So no good on the conversion. So it remains a 2-touchdown game. But so Post actually fumbled 3 times last week, although only 2 go in the stat sheet, and they lost 2. Tonight, absolutely no ball security issues whatsoever for Brady.
Was he walking around the halls with a football this week?
He was not. This is not the program.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody laid down in the middle of traffic.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. But for Montgomery, impressive.
Well, they definitely did some ball-controlled drills this week for sure, because he looks very sound.
55 ticks to go in this one. Looks like it will be Montgomery's second victory of the season. Next week, we are actually not – you won't have the MIRE broadcast team. But, again, I should stop probably announcing this before I talk to Zelda Wallace about this. But I got to feel like we got a good reciprocal relationship with the folks over at QTN. My plan is, since I'll be in Atlanta for week 1, and Pogue will be probably having not slept in roughly 72 hours, nursing baby child. Am I allowed to say her name?
Yeah, sure. It's not a secret.
You want to say her name?
Nora Jean.
Nora Jean Pogue.
Yep, she kept the Pogue. I fought for that.
Well, you won. That was a good one.
Well, I'm the last one.
You know, I already see a problem with this. I want you to know that. You got a 2-syllable first name with Jean as a middle name.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to get Aiden Hutchinson to come in and start singing. But you didn't watch Hard Knocks, did you?
No.
Billie
See?
Jean.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice, man.
Right?
that was funny.
That was his karaoke. He sang a little Billie Jean. So, like, you know, we could do a little Nora Jean. We'll make a nice little cover for you.
Yeah, I mean, they better not be singing that song.
Well, I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to tell you?
No.
It's the first thing I thought of, okay?
Oh, not for at least
All right, anyway, let's get back on
20
track
years.
here.
Oh, boy.
The kickoff went out of bounds, so they're going to make him do it again. We're going to simulcast, I think. Sorry, Zelda, since I didn't ask you this. And use QTN's feed, who we have the pleasure of partnering with. Those very talented young folks at Plainfield who started their own live stream. So I suspect that a lot of the stuff that you'll see on QTN will look very familiar to you, and you'll have a Plainfield broadcast of the Montgomery game. And certainly it'll be a little Plainfield slam, but it'll be broadcast on the Myers YouTube. And ball goes out of bounds again. And just kick this baby. That's what I'm saying. Because I mean, I don't know. I would keep backing him up. I'd keep making him kick it. If I'm Franklin. No time's going off the clock. All you're doing is gaining field position.
Yeah, making the kickoff team tired.
No doubt. No doubt. Let's see what they do. And then we'll be back after that.
For our first home game, right?
Correct.
It's a long road stand.
Yes. We opened the season 3 on the road. And then I believe, am I right in saying it's 4 straight at home, Poke, after that?
I think so. It's a nice press box.
I had something different in my calendar on my phone, but I didn't want to, so I don't want to say that my calendar was correct. because something might have got changed. I put that back in my calendar way back in like May or June. And actually, no, it was even way before that. It was during basketball season because Montgomery Athletic Director Chris Grundy was not happy with me that I sent out a picture on Instagram of the Montgomery football schedule during basketball season. It was like as if I like stole one of the children. I was like, bro, what do you want? We're just, a little pro Montgomery here.
Yeah, we've got Somerville at home on the 16th.
Friday the 16th will be.
That'll be a big one.
The next broadcast where you get to hear our dulcet tones.
Oh.
And
way to break
great
it.
job to escape by Mattia, and then a big tackle after. That was a lot of work for a couple of yards.
Yeah, but great job to elude all those tackles. I thought for sure, after the second or third cut in the backfield, he was going to get tackled, but just a wiry kid.
Golubitsky was there for the hit on Mattia. Clock's rolling. Nobody's using timeout, so Franklin's probably got one more play before the end of this one. And we got a timeout coming and a timeout for Franklin. So no sooner did I say that we have a timeout. But you got to be impressed overall. Offensively, things were certainly not clicking the way that they usually do, certainly in the passing game. And despite that, still a pretty impressive showing. I was impressed with this Franklin team, I got to tell you. New coaching staff clearly doing a very good job here of putting the very athletic players that they have in positions to succeed. So if you're a Franklin fan, it's not going to come together in 1 second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not how it works, right? It's not how it works in the NFL. Forget about it with high school kids.
They played really well, and despite a couple of times where they shot themselves in the foot, had big penalties, overall pretty disciplined game.
No doubt.
So, Montgomery just, defensively, I feel like stepped up really well this week.
Mattia throws it up here, up the left side, and it is intercepted by Spera, but out of bounds, they say, with 11.4. A great job by Nino. Couple big plays from Spera tonight.
Yeah. Especially in special teams, he's done a really great job there. But I also love him at the corner. He's a good kid. Quick too.
Yep, no doubt.
Able to make some really good.
Well, he better be quick,
there.
otherwise we have to fire our track coach.
Yeah.
Just saying. Not saying, just saying. So Montgomery will travel to Plainfield next Saturday. I believe it's a noon kickoff, Pogue. Am I right in saying that next week?
Noon or 1.
That helped nobody. Appreciate that.
Well, cut the difference. 12:30, you won't miss a game.
Completion out here in the flat, and a good job by Rossman to wrap him up. After the reception by Wadiu Smith, but that will do it. Montgomery has defeated Franklin 28-14. Cougars improved to 2-0 on the season as they travel to Plainfield next week in search of. Oh wait, man, hold on.
Yeah, I think they're
still in search of 3-0.
Time on the clock. I think they blew it dead before.
Oh, that whoever. Oh, that was a flag. That's what it was. It was a face mask, I think.
Okay.
Milic is in search of a number because he wants to know. He wants somebody to rip on the, on the sideline. I heard it all the way in the headset. Hey, what number was it? So give Franklin an extra play. So an untimed down here from the 39-yard line. Game cannot end on a defensive penalty. Mattia looks to throw. It is caught complete, and it looked like it was actually. They tried to hook it. No, you know what it was? They tried to hook and ladder.
I was gonna say
that was what it was. The old hook and ladder. It ended up on the ground. Ashford picked it up, ran a couple extra yards, and now that'll do it.
Yeah.
Montgomery,
There we go.
that's it. Montgomery 28 and Franklin 14. Impressive second half defensively, guys.
I was pleasantly surprised, especially our run defense. They did a terrific job.
That game, I mean, we were talking about, at 14-14 there, afraid because of the momentum that Franklin had with how well it was playing offensively, that they were going to score before the half and then score again right after the half, and we would have been, looking at 28-7. But, you're able to score, and Zach Schick, boy, that you talked about it, Timmy. That tackle up the sideline, humongous.
Yeah, I mean that stop before the half set the tone for the second half, and then defensively, they were able just to make Ashford really not be an issue. So that tackle and that defensive stance at the end was really pivotal to the success of winning this game.
2 touchdowns apiece for Brady Post and Matt Davino, and that was the scoring for Montgomery. Cougars 28 and Franklin 14. Preceding the production of the MIRE. It's the sole property of the Montgomery Internet Radio Experience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of this one without the express consent of the MIRE is prohibited. We will not be at Plainfield next week, but you can find it here on the MIRE with QTN's broadcast on our YouTube channel, our friends over in the Queen City. We search for 3-0, and then, boys, I'll see you in 2 weeks on a Friday at home. Pogue.
Hopefully you'll be a father.
Saying good luck, I don't know that it does it justice. You don't need the good luck, buddy. I bust your stones all the time, but I don't know that I know anybody that's more well-suited to be a dad than you, buddy.
Oh, wow.
Aww.
Oh, jeez. Gone soft. We gotta get out of here then. Let's pack up. What's going on here?
That's insulting.
Cougs are 2-0.
Yeah, it's not like Timmy has kids or anything. Whatever.
I have a mug that says I'm the world's best dad. So
did you get that from the place that had the world's best pizza too? Is that
I bought it myself.
Is that the Sbarro? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Sbarro place I heard about.
I bought it for Pogue. I didn't say it was for me, but
Oh, the alma mater's played. You had it right the first time. Let's get out of here. For Matt Pogue, Tim Bartholomew, and Nicole DeMace, I'm Keith Clark. Thanks for watching.